everybody. Welcome to our classroom/show. Today I have with me that vegan lawyer, Patricia, all the way from Australia. Oh, Patricia, we never got you to put your name on screen, I just realized.
Oh, I thought I did when I first entered here.
Oh, okay.
It says it at the bottom.
Anyways, I am that vegan teacher and she is that vegan lawyer. And today we're going to be talking about cancel culture. And why is it that so many people seem to be trying to cancel the message of vegans? And that includes vegans themselves. Like, what the fuck is wrong with the vegan community? That's what I want to say. Because I honestly believe that I was canceled on TikTok by, a bunch of 13-year-olds, let's face it. But the vegan community seems to be often silent when somebody needs help. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about others who I've seen in the past. What do you think, Patricia? Do you have an opinion on any of this?
Yeah, so I think the majority of vegans in general are rather disappointing. I don't think they are properly animal rights in their beliefs or actions. And I think a big problem is they just care too much about what other people think. So they don't want to come across as too confronting or too controversial. Which is a real shame because, in my opinion, that's the kind of content that really changes people and gets people thinking. So I think just the majority of vegans are like very apologetic in that way, and we can't really rely on them to do the right thing. I've always said
apologetic. You mean like apologetic, like they're what do you mean by that? They're apologizing for their own behavior if they're too outspoken, right? Just because I'm trying to keep in mind that there are younger. Just trying to keep in mind that there are younger people sometimes watching and they don't understand all of this language necessarily. So we just have to sort of, really clarify it. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so they're not just apologizing for being outspoken. They're literally saying sorry for being vegan. Like, I'm sorry for existing and offending you. And, if they eat at a restaurant, they'll probably be very just acting like they are the ones doing the wrong thing by making non-vegans uncomfortable. And I think that kind of attitude extends to who they choose to support and who they choose to slander on social media, a vegan such as yourself, who is more outspoken and more effective, in my opinion.
Well, one of the things that I know is that before I became TikTok famous, my 15 minutes of fame in life, what I used to do is when I saw lives by people anywhere around the world, like that were done by vegans, DXC, it could have been in Germany, it could have been people right here in Montreal, some people that were doing anti-fur protests and things like that. I was so happy to see them doing lives. And I was so wanting to support them that I would type like crazy in the comment section. Like fanatically, like I would repeat what they're saying in case people couldn't, missed it. And if they said, don't forget to watch Dominion, or I would type it, watch Dominion, like constantly doing things to help them and sharing the crap out of it. Like every single vegan group I was in, I was sharing like crazy. So I guess I really honestly thought that as I was going up the ladder in TikTok, that these vegans would do the same thing naturally. Like, don't you want to support people? And these were people that had, way more followers than me. Like at the time I had, 1,000 followers and they had like 8,000 or something. So I was like, oh my God, they have 8,000 followers. I got to help them. And I just realized that this is not something that works both ways necessarily. And also I support anybody who has the right message, in my opinion. I don't really care who it is. Like, I actually support and share the videos of people I actually can't stand personally. I just think they're jerks, on another level. But if they have a message out there that's good, I will share it. I will say, oh, this is great activism. Let's share that. And I don't find that is consistent.
No, I think you're a very rational person. And I don't think we see that type of logic in the vegan movement or in a lot of other spaces as well. But because this is the space we're in, it's affecting us the most. But I think most of the ethical vegan activists have the right attitude, but they're a very small group of people, whereas the majority of vegans are more like the ones that we've been speaking of, very apologetic, as I said before, and not willing to support people that are brave enough to say things and tell the truth the way it's supposed to be. I mean, even if they don't want to be like that, that's one thing. But to go out and try and cancel someone else or not support someone who is brave enough to be that confronting activist that we need to see, I just think it's disgraceful.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened today is there's a group on Facebook called What Broke Vegans Eat. It's a great group. And you know what? It has rules. And the rules are, before you can write anything, you must post a picture of some food. You have to. Yeah, every single post is scrutinized by a ton of moderators, right? It's kind of cool because you're not going to get, sidetracked. You know what you're going to get. You want to see somebody, what they're eating today, they post a picture of their food, and then they can talk about whatever they want. So a lot of people talk about all kinds of political things there. And the owner of that group, Celeste, she is, like me, also an anti-circumcision advocate. And I had her, before I was TikTok famous, on a talk show like this that I used to have. And thank you, Palestinian vegan. Yes, go vegan for the animals. Thank you so much for the donation. So this is somebody who's very, very helpful regularly in the comment section. It's great. Thank you so much. You're a great moderator. So this group, so I interviewed her because I am, this is a subject. I was a registered nurse before, and I'm very much against circumcision of baby boys without, there's no consent. Obviously, you're removing part of their body just because you want them to look like their dads. And people were saying, well, you're anti-Semitic because a lot of Jewish people do that. And I said, no, that has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with you are harming that child. So anyway, Celeste, I found out, also is one of these people, same as me, who really speaks out against hurting the animals and hurting baby boys and baby girls. I mean, circumcision of baby girls is pretty much not done in our parts of the world, but it is still done in some countries, and it is barbaric and it is wrong. And it, let a kid cut part of their body off on their own if they want to. So Celeste and I had a great conversation with another man. This is it's about a year and about 14 months ago. So recently I thought, I haven't talked to her in a while because I really haven't been on Facebook at all. And I wrote into that group, What Broke Vegans Eat, because I've been promoting it all along anyway. Even when I was on TikTok, I would show screenshots of it. You guys should go there. It's a great way to find meals that are easy. And I wrote, I would like to interview Celeste if she would like to be interviewed and talk about how great this group is, or anybody else. And the flood of hate mail from vegans. Why the fuck would we talk to you? You're racist, you're homophobic, you're against the Jews, and all this stuff. And it's like, really? Really? Okay. I don't know where they get this from, except for that they are just believing this cycle of ridiculous accusations over and over. So, you know what they did? I came to now she has a lot of moderators, and I don't know if it was Celeste. I'm gonna try to contact her privately. But I was banned from the group, just banned. So this is a group that I have promoted since beginning to be vegan. Okay, I'm coming up in June for 5 years. I've thought this is a great group. And because they don't agree with my other values, which I don't know what they are, there's a lot of stuff I don't buy into. They just thought, what, not just remove my comment, flush me from the group entirely. So today is a new day for me in realizing vegans are the problem. I'm sorry to say it. And I have never wanted to speak out against vegans because I've long suspected that they are the problem, because I've always been a reporter type person since way before. And that's really my love, is to get to the truth of things. And I'm going to, from now on, not hold back. This might end up being a giant vegan gossip show. I don't know what, but I'm going to start calling out bad behavior. And I'm going to mention every single vegan who's responsible, because when you guys do that bullshit, the animals are not being helped. I am a vegan animal rights activist. I am not racist. I'm not homophobic. I'm not any of the things that you accuse me of. And just because you are, whatever the heck you are, left-wing insane, that does not mean sorry, I'm going on a rant, Tricia. I'm going to let you talk for 10 minutes nonstop after this. And you can go on a rant. Just because you are overly left-wing insane does not mean that you should be looking at somebody who is, I am considering myself still a hippie at heart, but you guys have lost it completely. I mean, I literally have Black people defending me. I literally have gay people defending me. I literally have Jewish people who went through the Holocaust who say, you are right. It is a Holocaust what the animals are living through. But you know what? White, straight women, and I don't know, that seems like the majority seem to hate me. There's literally a woman on a channel who's like a vegan beauty. So saying, oh, I'm so happy that vegan teacher's gone. That's just great. Like, oh my God. Okay. Your turn.
Yeah, so Katie, I really don't disagree with anything that you just said. I think it's important to remember the bigger an activist like you gets, the more pushback you're going to experience. So this is a long-term management problem. It's not just going to go away, with a few videos or you clarifying your views or anything like that. And if you speak to other activists who are as outspoken as you, someone like Gary Yourofsky, Paul Bashir, people that are pure animal liberationists and don't pay lip service to all these other pseudo social justice movements, they have experienced similar pushback, criticism, insanity, or whatever you want to call it. So I don't think I don't think you're alone in this experience. I know you had Vegan Gains on recently, and he, I think, reiterated a similar kind of thing. So I just think the more controversial and outspoken you're going to be, and the more you don't pay attention to identity politics and give them what they want, the more aggravated they're going to get, which is bad when it manifests itself in you getting cancelled from TikTok, for example. But I think in another way, it's good because I think you're doing the right thing and reaching a new demographic. Because in every time when someone's speaking out against an injustice, they receive a lot of criticism. Like, Malcolm X was murdered because they didn't like what he was saying at the time. Not saying that's going to happen to you, but
well, I do get regular death threats, as you know. Yeah. There's cameras all around my house, and I get recognized every day when I walk around.
Right. It's kind of just the price you pay for doing the right thing, I guess. But yeah, I totally don't disagree with anything you said. I think the bigger your platform is going to get, the more hate you're going to get. But you'll find, I think in time, you'll gather a lot of supporters as well, and have a large support network too, because I know a lot of people that support you as well. So balancing the good and the bad, I think, is very important. And this identity politics, SJW, left-wing insanity that we're seeing is just affecting all areas. And it's
remember what I said though about kids watching. So when you say something like SJW, like they might not know what that is. Like, and I say kids, I mean, like, there are some 13-year-olds who really are just like here for the first time. They're like, what's going on? I want to make sure that we.
So SJW just means social justice warrior, and someone who pretends to be interested.
It's not.
It's hard for me to even talk. If there's all these restrictions on words, it's hard for me to even talk the way I usually talk. Like it's difficult, because if I say they're interested in promoting fake morality, then I have to explain what morality is, or ethics.
You kind of do. Look, when I was a nurse, right? If I was talking to somebody, I can't say, okay, tonight you have to be NPO after midnight. NPO. They're like, what's that? Well, it's a Latin expression abbreviation for nothing by mouth after midnight. Like, there's all kinds of expressions, but we always have to check ourselves and just use, plain language for people. So, sorry.
I mean, morality is plain language. It's just going to be difficult going forward if I have to keep altering the way I speak. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to do anything, but the more you do it, the better it is for others to just be able to understand. That's all.
Well, basically, SJWs means social justice warrior, and it's just a person that's pretends to be good but is not. I don't know.
Because you see, I think what it is though, I think in back in the day, social justice warrior, it started off as like, I am a social justice warrior and I'm proud of it. I believe in social justice. Okay. I'm not pretending. So what happened is over time, people took those words and they started to put them in quotations like, oh, he's a social justice warrior. Not really, right? But then what happens, we took away the quotes. So when we say social justice warrior, we actually mean the opposite. We mean they're not a social justice warrior. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it kind of means the opposite of what it's actually meant to mean.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Do you want to read this one?
Opinions are allowed, but are instantly unnecessary when insults and lies are in them. It's becoming something to tear someone down. Be better, be vegan. Yeah, so I think he's making a point that constructive criticism is different from just slander. which is kind of what you're experiencing.
Mm-hmm. Amir, the vegan, thank you for the donation. Amir, the vegan. Amir, that's a restaurant around here with vegan food. Do you guys have Amir over there? No, I guess not.
No, is it good?
Oh, yeah. Very good. Amir, you make good food. Or somebody with your name. Okay, so anything else? What have we got here? I'm just going to randomly put stuff on the screen. It might be something that's bizarre, but please be respectful, everyone. That's good. You get to read the comments.
Cow's milk is for baby cows only, not for you.
Agree?
Agree.
Agree.
It's for a cow, not for a human.
Right. So in between these, we're also going to be talking a little bit about our subject. And okay, listen. Oh, this is interesting. I do not like the political side of the shows. So George, what do you want us to talk about? Let's try and guess. What do you think that George means?
I think he just wants us to talk about veganism and not worry about intersectional left-wing people, but it's kind of impossible if there's a problem growing and you don't address it. So I think that's a bit silly.
Right. I agree. It's a problem. And it's not you see, veganism is a huge part of what I care about, but I also care about other things because it will impact on veganism. If we have vegan animal rights activists who are stabbing each other in the back, and as soon as somebody gets to some level of fame, we don't lift that person up and support them, we are doing a huge disservice to the animals. I mean, the people like Joey Carbstrong and the Earthling Eds and the James Aspies, all of these people, Bite-Sized Vegan, I supported all of them. It's very disappointing when people stay silent and don't help each other. So what I'm saying right now, actually, and I'm going to say this because there are some people from Montreal watching, there is an account right now on TikTok that everyone should be supporting. This account has over, I think it's up to 450,000 views. This is a guy named Max who started this account, and I encouraged him to be on TikTok, and he's one of the few who actually went along. I was like, you got to get your ass on TikTok. He's from Montreal. I'm like, you have to get on. Like, we are going up, and you know, there is a formula. Now, you see, the thing is, I was doing something different because I was unlucky because I was, I don't know if it's because of age, because, you know, I'm the only gray-haired lady I know on TikTok. I'm the only 56-year-old I know on TikTok. So those could be factors, maybe not. But also, you know, I was doing some things different. I was singing and dancing, and I was tackling other issues like circumcision. And people are like, what? Like, what does that have to do with being vegan? And they just didn't like that. And other things. But this guy, Max, like, I talked to him and I said, look, just learn from what I've done. Just keep putting your animal rights activists stuff up there. The miracle is that he is not getting his videos taken down, although he's showing the same abuse that I showed. I can show the exact same video as him. Mine was taken down instantly. His was kept going up, up, up. And so I thought, this is great. So what we should be doing, everybody, is going there and helping in his comment section, showing him support. And I've said this many times. Don't be jealous of him. Okay, Montreal, or anybody who's listening, anybody who's on TikTok and thinking, oh, how come I have like 6,000 followers and I've been on TikTok for a year and he has 450,000? Well, who gives a fuck? Maybe you're just showing too much food. Maybe you're showing too much food and you're not, you know, you're not showing them enough of the, like, he has a good balance right now. He's showing his face just a little bit, so you feel attached to him. He also did lives almost every night, which was great. And another thing he's doing is he's showing the animals in the trucks, and he's showing the suffering that they go through, but he's just not crossing a line. I mean, he has had many videos taken down, of course, but people are watching. So I urge everyone, go on TikTok, and here's the name of his account: stop_eating_animals. Can somebody please write it on the screen? Write it in the comments. Everybody should be supporting Max's account because he is having huge reach right now. And everybody who's vegan should do what I told you to do when I had 1.7 million. Go into his comment section, type that you support him, and tell people to follow you as well. Say, I agree with Max. He has a great message. Follow me too. Don't be ashamed. I let everyone promote themselves in my TikTok. I was like, use me. And many people did. And that's great, but not anywhere near as much. And people were not taking risks enough. You know, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I think. So people follow that account, please. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, no, the whole.
Are you on TikTok right now?
Yeah, but I haven't really been posting because of school and everything. But
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, but I will in time. I just need to find something that works for me, because a lot of the content now I find hard to do because it's very short. Like TikTok, it's all about short. It's all about being snappy and punchy, and I'm not really like that. Like I find it hard to do something like that I'm happy with. It's weird, but it's easier for me to make a long video. You know what I mean? Even though it takes more effort, but yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah, because personally, I think, look, the way you are right now with your pink shirt and your collar and everything, you're sitting there, you could easily just like turn the camera on every day and follow. I think that following a format is really kind of cool too. Like, you know, be yourself, like whatever that is. If you like to have the same, you know, you can brand yourself with the same color, the same sort of writing on the screen each time. And you can do like lawyery type of activism where you can just look at the camera and just say, hey, don't steal. Stealing is against the law. Stop stealing. Yeah. Stop stealing eggs from chickens. You know, and you can use the whole stealing theme for every single thing because that's all it is, right? Carnism is stealing. You're stealing lives. You're stealing freedom. You're stealing babies. You're stealing eggs. You're stealing milk. Hey, if I was that vegan lawyer, that's what I'd be doing. That would be my shtick. Stop stealing.
Yeah, no, those are good ideas. I've seen a couple of doctors with big accounts do some pretty good vegan type activism. So I could take some inspiration from them, like another profession, even though that's not law, but it's kind of similar branding.
Who is that? Let's promote them.
I'm not sure of the name. I can look it up if you want me to.
Well, I'd be really curious. If there's a vegan doctor out there, everybody should know who that vegan doctor is. And I also saw a couple, actually, now that I think of it. One of them was fighting lupus and things like that.
Her name's Danielle Bellado. She's pretty big on Instagram, and I don't follow her on TikTok, so I'm not on TikTok that much, but I've seen her post her TikToks to Instagram.
Can somebody write it in the, do you have access to the comment section, Patricia, right now?
Yeah, I do.
Can you type it in so people get the exact spelling? And then we should be following these people. We
she's
should be
really
supporting all vegan animal rights activists. Even if you don't like them, just get over yourself. Stop, put your ego aside and support each other. All right. What else have we got?
I don't seem to be able to put a comment in, which is weird.
Oh, okay.
I can put a comment in the private chat, but not in public comments.
Okay. Maybe you could spell it then. Somebody can type it in who can spell it. Or hey, maybe I can do it. Okay, go ahead. Spell it for me.
So it's Dr. Danielle. Danielle just spelled normally.
But how is it written exactly there? Is you're talking about the TikTok one, right?
I'm on her Instagram.
Okay, so is it Dr. DOC, like the whole word?
So her username is just Danielle Bellado.
Okay, DANIEL space.
Yeah, so DANIELLE.
Okay.
And then her surname is BEL.
Like V, like Victor?
B for bunny rabbit.
Oh, B. BEL.
ARDO.
ARDO. Bellardo. Okay.
If Danielle, they look that up, they'll be able to find her.
Okay, cool. I think it went in there. Hopefully it's there somewhere. Okay, did I spell it right? Here it is on the screen.
Danielle Bellado. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
she's
so
a really she practices evidence-based medicine. So she practices a lot of conventional medicine, but she doesn't subscribe to the whole anti-vaccination thing that we see a lot of health professionals and people in this area talk about. And she's very, very science-based. And I think there's a lot of pseudoscience in the health vegan community as well. And she does a really good job at refuting a lot of that nonsense as well.
Good. I was just going to say, I hope I'm not promoting somebody who's pseudoscience, because science rules.
No, she's obsessed with science.
Yeah. Facts. You know, facts don't care about your feelings. Who said that?
She's a cardiologist, so she's very up there.
Okay. Do you know that quote? Facts don't care about your feelings.
Yeah. Shapiro.
Yeah, that's Ben Shapiro, right? Facts don't care about your feelings. We don't care about your feelings. We care about science. Science rules in medicine, and when we take care of the animals, because the fact is that animals do have feelings. That's the fact. and we should be protecting them.
There's another good quote that facts may change your feelings, but feelings will never change facts.
Yeah. Facts may change your feelings. I'm going to type that. Facts may change your feelings. Somebody else can type it if they want. It's easier than me looking down but I like it so much. But feelings, is it will never change facts, or
either or? It doesn't really matter. Feelings never change facts.
Change facts. Ding. Facts may change your feelings, but feelings will never change facts. Go vegan. Ooh. Facts may change your feelings, but feelings will never change facts. Go vegan. Hey, I've been recording songs. I've recorded more than like 55 songs that are going up on Spotify that are going to be used for TikTok. So if anybody, and you know what? I'm going to write some for you if you want. 15-second songs, okay? That you can just put a sound up there, right? And it will say what you want to say. So think about the message. If you want something that says don't steal, right? Or obey the law. Or, here's the good one. I don't know if you're allowed to say it as a lawyer. But you know the quote about laws are made for the masses to follow and for intelligent people to use as guidelines?
Laws are made for people. Oh, that's good. I love that. Where's that from?
Right? I can't remember. I didn't invent it myself, but I know that I read it a long time ago, but I love it because it basically means that, you know, we can break the law if it makes no sense. If the law is that Black people have to ride in the back of the bus, fuck the law. Like, change the law, right? Fight it. Yeah. Break it. If you have ridiculous laws like gay people are not allowed to get married, then break it. Somebody should just put two people together and marry them. And that's it. We're not looking at your pants. We don't care if you're two men or two women. Like, yes, congratulations, you're married. That's what we need in this world. People to take chances and to challenge laws that hurt animals or humans. We shouldn't be racist, homophobic. We shouldn't be speciesist. And I have a donation. I do eat backyard eggs and dairy occasionally, but I agree with your movement. What? Take your money back. I don't want your money. No kidding. No, it's okay. I'll take your money, but change your attitude.
I just find it kind of embarrassing to agree with something intellectually or morally, and then have your actions not align with that. So, yeah. Okay, I think
what would you say to this person? What would you say to this person?
Basically what I just said then. Like, I think you're being a hypocrite, and you're supporting rape and murder. You're supporting baby chicks being grinded alive. I don't know how you could do that. I mean, you're not, because it's backyard eggs, but you're giving the impression that it's okay to commodify animals. And with dairy, I don't know what farm you're on, but all the baby calves get killed because they need the mother cow for milk. So you're still supporting rape of animals. I just don't know how you could do that when you agree with something like veganism.
Yeah. Well, I do occasionally, but I agree with your movement. So, okay, the person agrees with the movement. So maybe this person is just in transition, right? I mean, it takes 100 clicks until you become vegan. And this person, this is my theory, and I'm sticking by it because nobody's disproven it. This person is saying, look, I do agree with your movement. Like, I like kind of what you're saying, but I still eat this and this. Because, you know, it doesn't happen just like that. You gotta have it explained to you. Now, there's a site that you can go to called egg-truth.com. If somebody else can type it this time, I would appreciate it. It's not eggtruth.com. It's egg-truth.com, where you can read about backyard chickens and eggs and all of the reasons. And about dairy. You can watch Dairy is Scary. Somebody else can also write that and put it on the screen here. Dairy is Scary.
I mean, imagine...
Yeah, go ahead.
Imagine this in any other context. I support women's rights, but I'm still going to pay for women to be beaten. That's essentially what he's saying. Or her, whatever. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, see, I would love to bring this person on right now and sit between us.
Yeah.
Whatever. And we will give them an earful on either side. Well, that's interesting, though. Wouldn't it be cool to just randomly click on someone's name and show up in their apartment and go, okay, so you just saying this? Do you want to clarify? Because we're just kind of trying to guess why you're being a hypocrite.
Explain yourself.
And if they look really scary, I'll say, she said it, not me. She said, oh, where are you? Here, she said it. That's me.
Oh, it's just annoying. You meet people like this all the time. I really respect what you do. Or I really respect you. Are they expecting praise back? Are they expecting you to say, oh, I like what you do as well? But they're not doing fucking anything. So they don't hear that from me. I'm just like, thanks. You should try self-respect and respecting animals. Like, I don't care about your approval or like your praise. We're just doing the bare minimum. I don't know. I find that more annoying than just people that eat meat, and I don't give a shit. I think that's annoying as well, but I hate this type of hypocrisy where they have the potential to do better and then still don't. Whatever, she may be transitioning, but I just meet a lot of people like this. And I think it's a real problem as well.
I know exactly how you feel. Like, so I'm trying to look at the best case scenario, which is that the person's transitioning. Okay. But you're absolutely right. This person could be one of these people who stays vegetarian. That's what they are, right? They assume they don't eat meat. They could stay vegetarian for years and think that they're doing good. And meanwhile, keep contributing to, I don't see anything wrong with backyard eggs. Okay. Roll up our sleeves. Okay. No, but seriously, explain it in slow motion, Patricia, for those at the back who didn't hear.
Well, you're treating animals like resources. You wouldn't just have a baby give you eggs and then just keep that baby there to give you eggs because the baby's an individual. So you're still treating animals like they're your property, and that's shit. I don't know how to explain it more basic than that.
Well, people don't think that taking the eggs away from chickens is wrong. They think, well, the chicken just laid an egg and what's the big deal? What would you say about that?
Well, what I just said, you're still, it doesn't matter. It's still their egg. And if you don't take away their eggs, usually they use it as a source of nutrients for themselves. So
well, that's the part that most people don't know, right? Most people don't know that and so explain that. How do they use it as a source of nutrients?
Well, it just gets, assuming they're not laying, baby chicks, they'll just have the nutrients from the yolk or whatever for themselves, is my understanding. But anyway, it's that. And my objection is also you're telling the world that it's okay to eat eggs. And then most people are just going to go and buy eggs from the supermarket after that because they're not going to have their own backyard eggs. Like, I'm reasonable. I think it's less evil than buying eggs. And I think it's less evil than consuming dairy, which this person still does. And then is now trying to deflect from that by saying there's nothing wrong with backyard eggs. I just think this person's really annoying. But yeah, you're still doing the wrong thing.
Right.
Just because it's not as bad as something else doesn't make it right.
Yeah, because the industry is terrible. I mean, they still do, like Patricia said, where did you get your chickens from? And what is the cycle that leads to you to have these chickens? If you have chickens that are there and they're laying eggs, why don't you just leave the eggs alone? Just leave them there. The thing is, animals are not food, and their body secretions and products just don't belong to us. And we need to get this out of our head, that we somehow think of these things as food. Once we start to make a line and we realize, okay, I am not eating any more honey. I am not going to be eating any more eggs and milk and eating any cheese, anything that comes from a cow. Then once you've made that decision, I'm not going to eat duck eggs or goose eggs or, ostrich eggs. Whatever it is, I'm not going to eat the robin eggs that are in the nest in my backyard. I'm not eating any fucking eggs. Then you get it into your head and then you change your attitude. Then it's fine because it's like, I'm not stealing. That's it. I'm just not stealing. And then it's easy going forward. The problem is when you're always trying to second guess and make this, okay, maybe I can ride a horse once in a while, but just leave animals alone. Just don't take their stuff. I am eternally grateful to the two of you for your courageous work in helping to free enslaved tortured animals. Blessings to New Mexico. New Mexico, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for saying that and saying that to my guest as well, who is a great animal rights activist from the other end of the planet. Right now here in Montreal, we started at 8 o'clock at night, and over in Australia, it's already morning. Patricia's just having her breakfast. What time is it right now? Like 10 or something?
It's 10:30. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is so cool.
I know. I love talking to you.
Sorry?
I love talking to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love listening to you when I can understand what you're saying. You talk so fast. Read this slowly.
I want to go vegan, but my parents won't let me because they don't think it's healthy for a 13-year-old. Well, your parents are idiots. So I feel sorry for you.
Okay, look. I honestly thought I didn't have that much patience, and now I feel like Mother Teresa beside you. I just really feel like I have so much patience. I'm just like way more patient than her. Like
I just get these messages. It's not her fault, but I see this all the time. I'm just like,
okay.
Man.
Okay. So for those of you who didn't actually understand what she said, because she talks very quickly, she said that this young lady's, 13, Judith's parents are idiots. I think that was your word, right? Okay. So Judith, here, let me give you my answer, okay? Which will be a little more politically correct, just because I'm in the mood. Because I can be the nice person now, because I've got a bitch here. She's a bitch. I thought I was a bitch. Now I realize I'm actually pretty nice. I should have you on the show all the time. You just make me look silly. So Judith, listen up, sweetie pie. Okay, your parents they just don't know yet. They don't know. So your job is to teach them and to be very patient with them. Don't call them idiots. Don't do that. Just say, Mom and Dad, guess what? I just read something from the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics that says that anyone can be vegan at any stage of development. Now, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, Judith, is a huge bunch of people. I can't remember how many people, like dietitians and doctors. I mean, over 100 articles are cited that they researched. And they came to this conclusion that it's completely healthy. So you can tell your parents it is. But then, Judith, and I'm going to address the Palestinian here in 2 seconds, but Judith, you also have to show your parents the documentaries. Be patient with them, really, because it takes 100 clicks. I mean, your parents, they need time. They need to watch these documentaries. They need to get it. They're going to feel guilty. Then they're going to get past it and realize that they can help you. You can tell them about vegan phobia and say, Mom and Dad, I know you might not want to be vegan yet, but please don't be vegan phobic. Please be vegan fantastic, which is a word I invented, which means you're going to be supportive of me. That means you're not going to eat dead animals in front of me, please, because that hurts my feelings because I know what they go through. These are the kind of conversations you can start to have with your parents, Judith. And if you feel alone, join Facebook groups, but don't join What Broke Vegans Eat because they're mean over there. There's another one I'm going to start promoting, and here it is. Join What Broke Vegans Eat, Wear, and Use. That's the backup group by, I don't know, maybe it might even be by the same people, but as less people. But they're not going to kick you out, I hope. But yeah, there's basically a lot of people that you can go to for help. And be patient and come back here, and I'll be your like surrogate grandma type person. I'll encourage you. Okay? Picture me always there behind you, giving you a big squeeze and being like, you can do this. Just take your parents out of it. Families are the hardest to convert and to convince because there's so much ego involved. I mean, your parents have to be pretty mature to think, wow, maybe my 13-year-old daughter knows more than I do. The truth is you are ahead of them in this one. Doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to your parents if they tell you to brush your teeth and floss your teeth and all that stuff. Do all that. But eat your veggies and prove to them that you're serious about this. Any other talks? Patricia, before I go on. So Palestinian, thank you. You want to read this one?
Oh, yeah. Vegans are mass reported, banned, and bullied on TikTok. YouTube is better for vegan creators, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think so. I did have a video banned, but I just wrote to them and they put it back. Guess who it was by? Guess who I talked about? Who's the big, bad Voldemort vegan enemy number one? The initials are GR.
Oh, Rogan.
No, actually.
Oh, G, sorry, GR.
Gordon. It's Gordon Ramsay. I mean,
Ramsay, yeah. Okay.
He tortures, he pays people to kill animals on a regular basis, and he promotes it to millions upon millions upon millions of people. Enemy number one, because he actually...
It's not as bad as
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say he's not as bad as Anthony Bourdain, who was a chef.
Oh, yeah.
And he made fun of vegans all the time, and then he died. I think it might have been a heart-related disease.
No,
yeah.
No, he killed himself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. He killed himself.
Anthony Bourdain was also, enemy number one. Yeah. And guess how I felt the day that I find out that this guy died. Pretty happy, that's good. I said to myself, that's good, because this guy was promoting so much pain and suffering for animals.
Yeah, and he was really sadistic about it.
Yeah.
Sadistic meaning someone who's happy when someone else suffers. So he used to say it's better when the animal suffers because of this, and he would make fun of vegans, and he was just the worst kind of person. And but he had reaction charisma.
The problem is that people like him and Gordon Ramsay is people are they're so into looks and the exterior of things. They just see a person like smiling and looking like, hey, I'm so cool, and they're just like mesmerized, like watching, like it's like they're literally hypnotized. Like they don't actually look at what the person's doing. These people are evil. It's actually evil what they're doing. It's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Even back then, it was a good example of the type of vegans that we see that defend people like that and would say to us, oh, you're being mean. I can't believe you're happy someone died. And all this kind of, like, there was a lot of that happening as well, which just shows how detached people are from reality and the reality of how bad a person can be. And it's good that some people die.
Yeah. And so how did you become vegan? Tell people who are just joining who don't know you yet.
Oh, okay. My sister became vegan first from documentaries that she watched at university. She was taking some cultural food weird course, I don't know. And then she just started cooking a lot of vegan at home, and eventually I just switched on an instinctive decision. Like, it wasn't I didn't watch anything or see anyone. I just decided on myself. And it was an ethical decision, but I didn't think of it that way. It was just a basic instinctive kind of decision. And then it wasn't until a month after I started doing research on it, like, what am I actually doing? And I was pleasantly surprised how good a decision it was once I got into, like the moral aspect and also environmental and health reasons as well, which I didn't really care about that much, but it was just icing on the cake.
Cool. So your sister was vegan first. That's good. So you were pretty open-minded to follow along. Is she younger or older?
She's a year and a half older than me. Oh no, 2 years older than me. And our parents went vegan as well. So
that's great.
Yeah.
So what is her name? What is her job or in life? Who is she? She's that vegan artist? What is she?
Oh, well, she's not on social media, but she's a landscape architect.
That vegan landscape architect. I like it.
I actually changed my name on YouTube to my full name.
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't realize. Okay, cool. Okay, so what do we have here? You want to read this?
In a Christian live stream, someone comes in and starts practically worshipping the devil. No one minds if they get pissed. But if we vegans have a kindness comment, it's immediately wrong.
What do you think?
I'm not really sure what she's saying. Is she saying that people find it unacceptable when some antichrist person comes into a Christian live stream, but we're meant to tolerate it when people make jokes about animal suffering, I guess? I mean, I kind of agree, but I don't think we do tolerate it. I think most people get banned or we just tell them to fuck off. So.
I guess I don't know what it means by worshipping the devil exactly. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I can't see if there's any other comments here. What's this? Okay. Oh, Watch Dominion, veganactivism.org. Okay. Have you ever been to that site?
No, I haven't.
Okay. And what is this here?
I'm not really into, I think it's great. And I think other people who do really well in it should do it. But I'm not really into working with other activists in real life. I just find it's difficult and there's a lot of personality clashes, and I have to really think someone is really valuable or like really like the activism to want to do anything with them, because a lot of the time it just ends up being like hard to organize, and I don't feel like I really excel in that kind of environment, like that on the grounds, like outreach kind of, you know what I mean? So I don't usually work with other activists Like, and I'm in academia, and it's kind of hard to have a life outside what I'm doing at the moment. So, yeah.
Well, I think it depends by what you mean by work with, right? If you're supporting somebody in a comment section, to me, that is working with them. You don't even
Oh, yeah.
ever talk with them, you know, but there's so much that people can do to help each other without having to be on the ground. Now, is there value in standing outside of a fur store and screaming for hours? Maybe. I think so. I think it makes great. I think it is good as long as people are filming themselves and those videos are going from the street of Montreal, where I am, out to the whole world by the thousands and thousands. But if you have a group of 15 or 20 people that is screaming at a store, and the only people that are seeing it are the people walking by, you are not using that time wisely enough. This is time that the person left the house and drove to the protest, time for them to stand there for 2 hours, time for them to give out. You're talking like 3 hours out of their day. Okay, sometimes that's what it is. What could you do in 3 hours of your day to help, let's say, somebody like I talked about, Max, who has this account called Stop Eating Animals, stop_eating_animals. He's on TikTok. Go and support him. Do you know how many comments you can make? How many times you can share his video on your social media? Way, way, way more outreach. So that's what I try to do, is try to tell people to be as effective as they can possibly be. And if you see somebody going up to the top, help them. Help them. Hold up the ladder. Don't fucking kick the ladder and watch them fall and get some sort of joy out of it. That is just not helping the animals. Now, right now we have an activist whose name is James Aspie. Do you have any comments about him? And explain who he is and what's going on with him, for example.
So James is an animal rights activist / influencer. I have a bit of a funny view on James. I've met him a few times, and he's a really nice guy. He's a very positive vibes kind of guy. He's come under scrutiny, I guess, for...
Well, sorry, I'm going to interject. Let me just start off by saying he did not speak for a full year. That is his claim to fame. He didn't speak for a full year because he wanted to draw attention to the voices of the animals. And then he went on to a morning show, like, I don't know, something like Good Morning America, but it was in Australia or some version. And he spoke for the first time, and he spoke about the animals. And since then, he gave many speeches. And so he was quite a well-known and articulate animal rights activist. And then recently people are starting to turn their backs on him because, her camera froze. Because what happened was that he started to talk about investing in something that would be helpful to the animals in some way. And people just thought that that was something that they didn't like. It was off-putting. And I must admit, I didn't like it. I was like, okay, I don't know what this guy's going off on some tangent here, but whatever. I'm going to ignore that, and I'm going to look at all the great things that he's done. And that's what I think that people should do, is stop trying to tear each other down when you see that somebody is not perfect. Everybody's human. You might not agree with some things, but at least talk about the things that you do agree with. Share James Aspie's videos that are good, and all these other people too. That's what I suggest. So I don't know what happened to our guest here, but she froze somewhere. So, and I don't think it's too cold over there in Australia, so I'm sure she'll be back pretty soon. So let's have a look here. I'm going to pop up some other comments here. Okay, this is, hi, Vegan Gaze. Nice to see you here. Vegan Gaze, you should all follow her channel as well. She is an animal rights activist in England. And I think it's in the comment section, she's busy down there just educating people, just blah, 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 typing 100 miles an hour. So it says here, if you eat fish and other animals, you should know the effects it has on the animals, the planet, and humans. And that's absolutely correct. So those of you who have not yet seen Seaspiracy, I highly suggest that you do watch Seaspiracy. It's a documentary out about the oceans and what goes on there. The incredible amount of fishing and how the whales are dying and the dolphins are dying, and it is just catastrophic, the amount of pollution that is in the oceans. And for us to turn a blind eye to that is it's just unforgivable. We need to stop worrying about just people using plastic straws and say, well, I'm not using a plastic straw, so I'm saving the fish. Well, a better way to save the fish is to not eat the fish. It's as simple as that. Stop using plastic and do all of that. So I want to just say thanks again to Vegan Gaze. She did a video about the documentary. She analyzed it. Go see her channel. Her name is Vegan Gaze. Support each other, animal rights activists. Support each other. All right, Constantin. That vegan teacher's right. People are slowly getting clicks. Troll comments are decreasing and the like ratio is going up. 100 clicks. I don't believe it. Yeah. Well, I think what's happening is that the trolls, this is my guess, is that my account is now going to be leveled out. See, I want to have something that's sustainable. Something that I can do for the long haul. If I have, you see right now I have 119 people watching. Now that's not too much when you think about what I used to get on TikTok. It was crazy. When I would do a live there, I had 11,000 people at once. Okay, so that's different. I have no control over that. All I can do is control what I do myself. I cannot control anything else. And so what we keep doing is we just keep going. You know the story of the tortoise and the hare. Maybe you know it. You know, the rabbit and the turtle there. They had a race. What happened was that the rabbit just bounced ahead and just took a long pause at near the finish line and had a sleep or whatever. Meanwhile, the tortoise was just moving along, just doing doing their own thing and who won the race was the tortoise. And by the tortoise, hi, welcome back.
Hi, sorry.
So I was just saying the story of the tortoise and the hare, meaning the hare meaning the rabbit and the tortoise meaning the turtle. And in the end, the tortoise won the race. Now, see, that's exactly my approach. I'm here for the long haul. I am going to be doing social media. If they kick me off, I'll just find another way. But I will not stop speaking about the animals. I cannot control if there's 125 of you watching or if there's 2 of you. That is not anything that I can control. I can just be the best that I can be at all times. That's all I'm trying to do. So where'd you go?
I think it just got disconnected. Then I just got back into the stream.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good. Good to know that you didn't leave us on purpose. I didn't offend you or anything.
Hey, did you want to talk a little bit about this idea of white veganism and how it relates to censorship and this kind of thing? Yeah.
Am I in trouble because I'm white?
Apparently. Not by me, but crazy people.
White veganism. Yeah, let's talk about white veganism.
So basically, it's this idea that is, in my opinion, insane, that veganism has something to do with white culture. So,
okay, wait. Let me just check one thing. Just let me check the color of your skin. Like, you don't seem to be completely white. So you mean you are an exception? What do you mean you don't believe in white veganism? I thought all black, brown, and everybody else, purple people, everyone believed in white veganism, and I'm supposedly some terrible enemy.
Yeah, so it's like, it's famously vague.
Sorry, I was just saying a quick thank you for the donation here. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, thank you. That person said something really nice about me before as well, so thanks. Yeah, so there's a couple of things associated with white veganism, but it makes a couple of claims, and one of them is that veganism in Western countries like Australia and Canada, that it's associated with, I guess, privilege of being white because of how expensive some vegan foods are, and there's this expectation that white vegans shouldn't criticize other cultures for killing animals for food. That's a big part of this whole white veganism thing. So they would say someone like you couldn't criticize Indigenous people in Australia for killing animals for food because of your whiteness. So it's just a branch of this insane identity politics that we're seeing evolve in different places. And yeah, that's just what it is. But it's becoming more prominent. I've seen a lot of times on Instagram people posting about this white vegan thing, and it's just yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, I think the example that you gave is kind of an extreme one. If you have a society that lives in the middle of some jungle somewhere, I'm not gonna, like, this is not my priority to go in there and tell them to stop hurting animals. Like, that is like the last place that I would ever look. I am talking, their white veganism is way worse than that. It is basically, anytime if I talk to a black person and say, you should be vegan, immediately they say, you're racist. Like, I could be literally on the phone and not even know what the color of their skin is. And then they find out, well, that person's black, and be like it's just crazy. It's gone nuts.
Yeah,
really
and there's
nuts.
right, and also adding to that, they also try and censor certain words, especially if you're white, that you can't say to non-whites. So like slavery or Holocaust or whatever, they try and say that's part of white veganism, is like you're oppressing them by saying these words that aren't yours to use. And
Even
it's just
though
wrong on
black
so many
people,
levels.
even though black people support me, and they will say, yeah, I totally get it. That this is as bad as slavery. I mean, Veg Seps, who's a vegan animal rights activist, has said to me, I think it's worse than slavery. These animals suffer from morning till night their entire lives and end up dead, and it's because this Holocaust never ended for them. And that's it was a Jewish person that taught me that. That's why I say it. They say the Holocaust never ended for the animals, and they are vegan. So if they're saying it, this isn't me pulling this out of my ass. I mean, this is me listening. So when people accuse people like, it's not my fault I was born with this skin color. Like, hello, stop it already. Stop insulting people. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people past you. But anyway, it's
so the fact that we have people who have suffered through these atrocities and are descendants of people that have suffered through slavery and the Holocaust, and they support the use of those words and support our type of activism, to me is just an additional point to the main point, which is it's factually correct to use those words anyway, and we should be able to use them anyway. Because even if no Jewish person or no black person supported using those words, I would still think it's the right thing to do to say it.
I agree.
But it's good that they do support it. Like, obviously that makes it all the better. But the bottom line is it's a freedom of speech issue, and it's like you should be able to tell the truth in a society.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to read this one?
Veganism is toxic and forceful if you're vegan. Good for you, IDC, I don't care, but don't shove it up my throat. Or you're a fucking idiot because you're shoving animals down your throat. So what the fuck?
I was thinking, wait for it. Here she goes. So because she talks so fast, what she basically said is, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know, maybe she didn't say it fucking, but she said, you're an idiot because you are shoving animals down people's throats. Like, I don't understand. Do you not look at that? Okay, look, Benny, do not look at your sentence, okay? It literally says, don't shove it up my throat. Up. Oh, it's not down. Oh, maybe that's the nuance there. I think the person means down my throat. But Benny, seriously, you are shoving dead animals down your throat. We are just here talking. Like, why the fuck are you here? Do you know how many people are live right now? Go! If you don't like what we're saying, go. Are we in your house right now? Are we like the two of us ganging up on you, Benny, pinning you down and shoving tofu down your throat? Why the fuck?
Really, you shouldn't be able to.
Like,
you should be forced to be vegan.
What?
Everyone should be forced to be vegan. You shouldn't be able to harm other beings.
Absolutely. Yeah. If we could, we would force you. Patricia and I, if we were able, we would be at your door right now. We wouldn't even ring the doorbell. We would just barge in and we would say, I'll pin you down and I'll give you the tofu and she'll put some ketchup on it. I don't know. Like, seriously, we should have a world that is vegan. It should be mandatory to not hurt animals. You know how we have those laws that say don't hurt children? You know, like don't barbecue them? Yeah, like that. Okay, pigs, cows, chickens, don't barbecue them. They are like children. They have the same intellectual capacity. Name the trait in them that gives you the right to hurt them. What is it? Name it. They have feelings like us. They have eyes like us. They have ears like us. They have families like us. They want to live like us. They want their freedom like us. Stop hurting animals. Be a decent human being. And be vegan. And when you're vegan, let us know because look, we have space on the show for us. Look, I'll move over. Patricia will move over and we can put you right here. See here? Right between us. Okay? 3 musketeers, Benny. Now let's get back to Constantin. Constantin is here. Constantin, how rich are you? I mean, I don't know what RDS is. I don't know what that means, but it's 250 something. Anyway, thank you for these repeated donations. just because you're giving a donation, I'm going to sing for you. I'm going to sing this comment. No, I'm going to ask Patricia to sing. Go ahead, Patricia, sing the comment.
Don't do nothing because you can't do everything. Do something, anything. You can't change the world by being vegan, but you'll change that one animal's world.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I actually really like that. You can't change the world by being vegan, but you'll change that one animal's world. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll change the world for that one animal. And if that was us, if it was me, I'd be pretty happy that one person changed my world. You know those days when you feel like shit? You just feel really bad. And then that one random person smiles at you outside, or you're just out in the mall or whatever. They just randomly hold the door open for you, and you're just like, oh, grouchy. And then you're just like, you know what? That was really sweet. That person doesn't even know me, and they did this nice thing. Or you drop something, and some stranger runs up and gives you your glove that you dropped or something, and it just changes your perspective. Everyone.
I don't really have those type of feelings, but I understand what you mean.
What did you say?
I said I don't really have those type of feelings, but I understand what you mean.
You don't have those type of feelings? Okay. Who are you? What's the character there from that space show there with the guy with the ears, Spock?
Spock is the one that does this thing. Oh, I can't even do it. Live long and prosper.
I never watched that show, but my friend used to. He died. But live long and prosper.
It's a good show.
That's you?
Okay.
Okay. Rescue animals. Yes. Anybody else? Any comments? Okay. Anybody else have anything down here? I don't know. I can't see anything. So did you want to talk a little bit more about white veganism? Or about cancel culture? Or, did I talk too fast that time? Or about cancel culture, or about how these right-wing people are not vegan yet. It's one of my favorite topics. All these thinkers, all these people, the Shapiros and the Jordan Petersons of the world. And those of you guys who don't know, Google these people. Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, Candace Owens, and Sam Harris. Why are these people not all vegan? They all talk about freedom of speech. They all talk about not having a cancel culture. And they're all people who claim that they've done so much reading and thinking, and yet something's missing.
Yeah, I think it just shows how much human supremacy or how overlooked animals are, where even very intelligent, otherwise intelligent people still can't see that hypocrisy yet. I think it's just a testament to how powerful it is when, we just leave animals out of all discussions of equality and, important ethical discussions. But to circle back to white veganism, just one more thing I wanted to say is I notice a real reluctance in white people to speak out against this type of censorship, because I think most white people just want to be left alone and don't want to be looked at as racist and be called these names. But honestly, we need more people to speak out against it, more white people to sort of stand their ground, because this leftist culture has made them into pushovers, where it's to the point where they won't say anything. I'm not talking about someone with a large platform like Shapiro or Peterson who make a living out of saying controversial things. I'm talking about the average white person. And we need more average white people to say, no, this is stupid. I'm going to still say slavery. This is stupid. I'm going to push back against this censorship and not care too much about getting called racist names, like getting called names that are racist or whatever.
Yeah, the problem is, though, you get kicked out of groups, and it's not fun. But, I'm used to it.
I hate those Facebook groups. I left all of them. I remember I used to be part of a couple, but they're just shit. And the people in there are shit, and you just have a bad time. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a shame, though, because there could be so much value there. If you want to go on Facebook and just get some recipes or whatever, even still, you can just get them on the internet, honestly. But yeah, it's a shame because it's a kind of a community, and for some people it's great. I recommend you do go there. But for me, I don't get much out of Facebook anymore. I just find that there's people. The problem with what I find is that in whatever group you're going, like people have blinders on. They just see only their own types. They never expand. And what I tell people always to do is whatever news you're following Follow the opposite news at the same time. Follow the people that disagree with you. How else are you going to understand how to debate and on what both sides are really feeling? Like, look, I hated Trump. I couldn't stand the guy. But I would follow along and see what he's up to and see what he's saying and follow people that liked him just because I was so curious. How could anybody like anything that this guy did? And then after a while, once in a while, I heard him say something that actually made sense, like one sentence. And I was like, okay, he said this one sentence that made sense. But like I was open to it. So I would be able to say out loud, Trump said something today that I agree with. And everybody like, oh my God, how can you? I'm like, because look, I'm not saying I like the guy. Okay. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like the way he is, the way he's cruel to women. I just find him to be ew. But he said this one thing. So we're going to praise that one thing because I can detach what's coming out of the guy's mouth from the person himself. And we need to do that as a society. We need to be able to distinguish. Like you can't stand somebody. Well, listen, maybe there's something they say that you can learn from them.
Yeah, I thought Trump was pretty funny.
Why?
I thought it was hilarious. Like I really like personality. I thought I would like to have a beer with him. Kind of thing.
You'd like to
We're
what?
probably different in that regard.
Okay, no,
like,
you're talking too fast.
with him.
You have talking too fast. You would like to have a deal with him?
A beer.
A beer with him.
Just hanging out with him.
You'd like to have a beer with him? Ugh.
Yeah, he just seems hilarious. But to go back to like this whole these vegans in these Facebook groups, I don't think it's a loss because these people aren't doing anything. Like they're not doing anything for the movement. They're not speaking up for animals. They're criticizing other vegans. It's like I don't see it as a loss as in, oh, I could have been part of that community or, I wish I was back in that group. I just think they're wasting time. Like someone once said to me, it's better to reach 5 people who are going to become outspoken activists than reach 50 people who are just going to become these vegan vegetarians, flexitarians, you know what I mean? Which is what these people in these Facebook groups are. So it's I don't think it's a loss. I just think that nonsense needs to be addressed and then just move on to your own activism.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on what group you're in, but I think that there's a lot of cancel type culture that goes on there, and people should just, it's like me. I start a video, right? And immediately before I've said one single thing, there are so many people pressing thumbs down. We dislike it. We dislike it. How do you know you're going to dislike it? You haven't heard what I'm going to say yet. Like that's just wrong. And don't, by the way, the same goes the other way around too. Don't press like. What if I say stuff you don't like? Like just be open and just listen. Okay, I take back the like part. You can press like because honestly, nobody's pressing like. I don't even know. I don't even look. Anyway. Right. So it's been 1 hour and 7 minutes. I don't know if you want to have any closing comments, but I enjoyed having you here.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I think we talked about some interesting things, and yeah, if there was anything else you wanted to discuss.
Yeah, if there's any things that we want to recommend, any particular books that you want to recommend, you could say so now, and people can maybe write it. Do you have any books or any advice that you would give to people?
A really good book is Eternal Treblinka, Our Treatment of Animals and the Holocaust.
See, I didn't understand what you just said.
Sorry?
I didn't understand what you said. I heard Casablanca or something. What's the title?
So the book is called Eternal Treblinka. It's a
Eternal Treblinka. Eternal Treblinka. Okay, 2 words.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eternal Treblinka, Our Treatment of Animals and the Holocaust.
Okay. Oh, I think I have heard of that.
Yeah.
Who's the author?
So, Charles Patterson.
Okay. So
he's
you recommend
either a
that?
descendant or he is a Holocaust survivor, and it's just a very compelling discussion about the Holocaust and slavery and how it directly relates to what's happening to animals.
Okay, maybe somebody's going to comment, write it down here, and then I can put it on the screen. Vegan tea, here's a good one to talk about. Here's a nice. Vegan tea sure should I should What's that mean?
I don't think she knows how to spell. I think she's too retarded.
So, yeah. Oh, well. I don't know what it means, but we can guess. Maybe it's an acronym. Vegan teacher should ID.
Eddie. Maybe she means change your name to EDI. Eddie. That vegan Eddie.
That vegan teacher should involve, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. There's not a whole lot of words that start with D. Involve something, I know. Or it could be that vegan teacher should die. Maybe that's what they're trying to say.
Nah.
So why do you think that somebody would want somebody who's trying to save animals to die? Isn't that odd?
Oh, I think they're just insecure and probably really unhappy with themselves that they still kill animals and are too weak to change.
But like, let's say we were talking about saving black-skinned people, or thank you for putting that on the screen, Eternal Trip Blanket. Okay, thank you. But just to go back to the other comment, I don't know if we can put that back, because, you know, when people are telling me to die, I think it's very interesting. So this person would like me to die. So I find it fascinating that if we were defending the LGBTQ community right now, would this person want us, well, in this case, it's me to die? Like, that's a pretty harsh thing. Like, how vegan phobic can you be? Or if I was defending Black people, you would want me to die? Like, how racist can you be? I'm defending animals and you want me to die? Like, how speciesist? How evil are you? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Like, seriously, what the fuck is the matter with you? I am literally here talking about not hurting animals, and you think that my punishment should be death. Do you not understand how fucking fucked up that is? Do you say that to children who defend animals? Get the fuck out of here. Someone ban this person. Unbelievable. Here's another one.
Vegan teacher has a fetish for carrots. I don't mind a good carrot.
Carrots are good. What does the word fetish mean? Who wants to look it up and find out the exact definition?
I know what it means. It's like an abnormal obsession, like a really crazy obsession for something.
Right. Because did I talk about carrots yet this video? I'm not sure. I have a feeling we didn't mention carrots yet. But by the way, while we're on the subject, carrots and hummus, they go together. What's the rest of my song? In every kind of season, in any kind of weather. I don't even remember. I wrote so many songs. Yeah. Carrots and hummus, they go together in any kind of season, in any kind of weather. Carrots and hummus, they go together. Sing this song and be vegan from now on. Yeah. There. You're right. I have a fetish for carrots. Oh my goodness. Now what? Is this going to be a good one or a bad one?
Cade, well, of course, only vegans should go to heaven. We aren't killing animals.
Who Cade is. Somebody's named Cade out here in the comment section. Only vegans, we aren't killing animals like you unnecessarily. God will know this. What? If you're eating animals, you are killing them unnecessarily. I don't know what you're trying to say, but
we love you, vegan teacher.
Okay. That'll balance out the like death wish from before, but you don't have to love me. You just have to be kind and decent. Like, that's all. I appreciate that, though. Thank you. My goodness. All right. Oh, okay.
Love you.
This time they must be talking about you, though, Patricia.
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Wait, what? I'm just randomly clicking here. I can't read them. They're moving. Let me teach you. What do vegetarians? I don't know what that means. Do you?
No.
Okay, you can read this one.
As a former nurse, what are your thoughts on the use of heparin in the hospital? Are you okay administering heparin, or do you have another nurse to do it?
What is it's heparin? What does that have to do with anything? As a former, what are your thoughts on the use of heparin? Well, heparin is a blood thinner. What are you talking about? This has nothing to do with anything.
Why would you have an issue administering it?
No, this person's testing to see if I'm a real nurse. That's what they do. They often ask me nursey type questions, like just to check.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you hear that when Ben Shapiro called it an intravenous instead of an intravenous? I thought that was funny.
No, I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, intravenous. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I mean, I've been finding, even though I'm conservative leaning sometimes. I've been finding them a little bit cringy with some of the issues recently.
Yeah. Over the top.
I don't find them nowhere near as bad as left-wing people, but I still take issue with some of the things that they say. So yeah, I don't know. I've become more nuanced on it, I think, even though I'm still very much on that side. It's like they still piss me off as well.
Mm. When did you quit becoming a nurse? Well, I didn't quit becoming a nurse. I became a nurse, and when I stopped working as a nurse, when was that now? It's been about 10 years. Well, I'm 56 and I started nursing when I was 20. I worked at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, which is downtown in Montreal, in a city called NDG, Notre-Dame de Grâce. And then I also worked at McMaster University Hospital in Hamilton, Ontario. And I also worked at Lakeshore General Hospital, and I've worked for the Victorian Order of Nurses, done all kinds of jobs. And I worked on different wards as well, everything from surgery to the intensive care unit. And I stopped working as a nurse because I felt like I wasn't using my creative skills enough, and I got tired of people self-abusing. I just got tired of watching people. We would give them advice about how to take care of themselves, eat these healthy foods, and they would just go and I lost my esteemed guest here again. Oh no, you're there. Okay, I thought you froze.
No.
What happened was, I just realized I didn't want to be a nurse anymore. Yeah, I just found it hard. And one of the stories I tell is that I was treating patients, and this large, just overweight woman who had diabetes, and she had 2 daughters. The daughters were in the, 25, 30 years old. And they kept bringing her in these donuts. Like, we would work so hard to regulate her blood sugar and to talk to her about eating healthy foods. And she would just, these daughters would come in and bring her donuts and just be like, oh, but we love our mom. We just want to give her a treat. I'm like, you're fucking killing your mom. And when I said that, I realized like you can't say you're fucking killing your mom, like to families. You just shouldn't be saying that, right? I realized I'm here too long. I got to get out of here because I've just had it up to here with people doing that, because they really don't understand what love is. That's not love. When you are enabling somebody to hurt themselves, it's just terrible. And then this person needed to have toes amputated because of gangrene that had set in and all kinds of things. And people that were just like awful. Some patients were just unkind, and then they would have a heart attack in front of you, and you're doing like CPR. You're sweating, and you're like giving CPR the hardest you can to revive this person. You're just thinking, why the fuck are you so mean to me? And you're giving CPR, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't work here anymore. And the last thing, that one of the other things that got me is there was a bad flu going around, and we had the flu vaccine, and the flu vaccine came up, and it's supposed to be refrigerated, and it was left on the counter. It came up in the middle of the night. It was left on the counter at room temperature. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars of vaccine that is supposed to be kept in the fridge. And I discovered it, and I'm like, hey, how long has this been here? I touched it, and it wasn't cold. And they said, oh, I'll just put it in the fridge. I'm like, no, but like it might not work. Like, we cannot vaccinate like 1,000 people and have this thing not work. Oh, well, what do you want to do? Just put it in the fridge. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I'm not saying we should blame a human for this, because human errors happen, but we have to get to the bottom of why did this thing happen? How did this end up on the counter and not in the fridge? It's not about blame. It's about like finding out how we can make sure this doesn't happen again. And I wrote an incident report. It went in some pile this big of incident reports that nobody ever looks at. And we know what people did? They gave this vaccine out that had been at room temperature. And I was like, this is fucking just ridiculous. The amount of things that I saw as a nurse, I've never talked about them. One day I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to really talk about all the horrific things I saw as a nurse, and the things that I've seen as a teacher, the horrible things that I endured, the vegan phobia in the system. There's a lot of stories I haven't told. Anyway, so that's when I quit becoming a nurse. I went back to university and became a teacher. Your turn, Patricia.
If we were all vegan, then what's the point of the existence of the animals that give use produce? Because I don't think animals would survive in the wild. I just can't get over how dumb these people are. So what's the existence of animals? They have their own purpose, just the way you have your own purpose. So if an alien race came down and colonized our planet and said to you, your only purpose is to serve us, how would that make you feel? So animals have their own purpose, and I don't think animals would survive in the wild. That's not the argument. We're not saying to put them all in the wild. We're just saying to stop the supply of animal agriculture. We're not saying to put all those animals into the wild.
Yeah. Yeah, you understand, Maddie? Hope you do. Vegan from now on. Can you briefly talk about what would be the next step towards convincing Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire gang to become vegan?
I just think we really need to emphasize on individual rights and the abortion argument, because I've made conservatives, well, I haven't made them, but I've got them thinking in that way. And those are the two arguments they find the most convincing. So if they care about unborn fetuses, unborn babies, which they all do, all conservatives do, they need to care about the sentience in animals. And if they care about individual rights and freedom, they also need to care about the freedom and individual rights of animals. That's all we need to do, is penetrate that message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So for people who don't know Ben Shapiro, you should go and follow him on the Daily Wire and just have a look at what he's saying. I don't agree with everything he says. Not at all. But I think he says some interesting things. At least it's something different from the narrative that we hear all the time as vegans in our little circles with our blinders on, where so many vegans are just, socialists and who think that capitalism is terrible. And I'm not saying that I necessarily hold any strong opinion on anything that has to do with that, but I'm saying that we need to be open to learning about it and looking at all of it and just be able to have a conversation without being shut down. Cancel culture is terrible. That they don't let these people speak in universities. They're just standing there and giving their opinion. That somebody like Ben Shapiro needs to have bodyguards, that's nuts. It's nuts. He's just somebody who has a strong opinion about things. Like, he should be able to walk the streets like anybody else. Like, I should be able to walk the streets and not worry. I just have strong opinions about people who hurt animals. I think that it's wrong. I don't know what's going on in our world, Patricia. Who is this person? Do you know who this person is?
No. Haven't heard of her.
No, a vegan singer. Well, what kind of songs does this person sing? See, one thing people should know about me is that I don't really get excited about singers per se. Let me tell you why. Oh, thank you for the donation, Lil Black. Okay. As a singer and songwriter, I'm not a very good singer. As a songwriter, I see it as a person who writes a song puts effort into it. They have to think about the lyrics and they have to compose the melody, and that's where the work is. A person who sings is basically like I think of it this way. Somebody writes a book and another person reads the book. Who did the most work? The person who wrote the book. They put in all of the hours and hours and hours. That's what a songwriter does and a composer. Somebody who sings is just somebody who learned how to read a book. Somebody who knows how, they're just born with a voice. Yeah, sometimes they have to work at it a bit and fine tune it. But singing is not that big of a deal. And have you ever thought about it this way? If somebody is standing in front of an entire orchestra and singing with a microphone, who do you think worked harder? The violinist who's been playing the violin since they were 5 for like 2 hours a day? Or the person who grabs the microphone and just was born naturally with a voice and just belts out a song? Like, to me, honestly, it's bullshit. Like, move the singer aside and let's see the actual performers do their thing, which is freaking hard to learn a musical instrument, especially something that is a string instrument or anyway. I'm just saying, I'm exaggerating when I say that, push the singer away, but I'm just saying, like, we always watch these shows, like whatever they are, Star, whatever, Academy or whatever they're called. And what is American Idol? And it's always freaking out over a person and what they're singing. Like, you didn't even write the words that you're singing. Anyway, so do I support this person? I don't know. What is she writing about? Is she writing vegan songs? Is she trying to save animals? Great. Is she singing somebody else's words? Meh. So I need to know more. Sorry, Kim, if that was a long answer. What do you think? You don't know the person. So do you have any particular opinions about what I just said?
I understand where you're coming from. I think being a singer and being a musician are difficult in different ways because it is very demanding to be on stage and singing every day if that's what you're doing for a living. And if you're famous, there's a price that comes with that. But I do agree that musicians and songwriters deserve more recognition. I think that was your basic message there.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that the person who is playing in the orchestra in the band, it's less hard for them than the person singing?
I don't know if it's less harder. I just think it's difficult in different ways because you're under a lot of stress as a performer as well. Like you're under immense pressure. Like I can't even relate to it. Like having that much people watch me, and if you're in the public eye, difficulties that come with that. The musician can just go home and switch off. You know what I mean? So I just think
I don't know what you mean. I don't. How do the musicians turn off versus the singer turns off?
Well, if the singer is famous, for example, they're sort of celebrities and famous people have to be.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about not whether you're not famous or not. You're just a singer. You're somebody who sings. Okay. You're in high school, whatever. You're just the singer.
Oh, okay.
So you're singing in a high school band, right? Who gets all the praise? The singer.
Yeah. So I agree that they deserve greater recognition, I think, because but I think it's natural to kind of admire the star. That's what people want to see. They want to see someone in front and look at them.
But why are they the star? That's what I'm saying. Why are they the star? I don't think that
it's kind of boring to just watch someone play the violin. Like I couldn't watch that for 20 minutes, but I could watch a singer perform 5 different songs. You know what I mean?
I think it's boring. Wow.
Well, it could get boring.
It could get boring. It could. Have you ever watched a jazz band without a singer? I love jazz. I love jazz music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I miss dancing so much. I can't wait till COVID to be over and we get out and dance with people again. I mean, I dance in my house, by myself. It's just not as much fun. I love dancing. Okay, read this one. We're on. Oh my God. Oh, Karina Music. Oh, go ahead, read it.
Okay, as someone who knows piano and how to sing, I'm going to be real here. Singing takes lots and lots of training to sound really good. Also, there are a lot of singers that will play an instrument. Yeah, and write their own songs and stuff. I have a lot of respect for people like that.
All right, did we already put this one up? I feel like I put this one up already. I eat meat. Little Black, didn't you give me $1 before? You're moving it up to $2. Okay, so you eat meat. That's great. Which kind of meat do you eat? Beyond Burgers or Impossible Burgers? Which type of vegan meat do you eat? Yeah, I'll just, as long as it's vegan, I'm happy. Yeah. What else do we got? I think we were going to end pretty soon, but favorite vegan food. I'm going to, you know what? God, should I even bother to answer this? Okay, I'll be honest with you. Tomioka, okay? Hey, your question's boring. Who cares?
We're not here to talk about vegan food. I'm
sorry, I don't mean to be mean, right? But there are so many topics to talk about that make us think. And but I'm not going to be mean, okay? Maybe you're 10 years old. I don't know. So what's my favorite vegan food? Okay, vegan pizza. Okay, but honestly, it doesn't matter what I am about. What matters is ideas and that we're saving the animals. So I'm sorry if I sound mean. And that's the people said. You're so mean. But okay, let's ask my guests. What is your favorite vegan food?
I don't know. I have a very boring diet, like rice and noodles and veggies and fruit.
Okay. Next one. No biological requirement for the human body for animal flesh. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, that I know of.
Okay.
That seems right.
Let's ask Patricia to answer this one.
What are some key benefits by going vegan? Not supporting a Holocaust, number one.
Okay, explain it for the people just joining in. We have 135 people watching, and most of them have just been here for like 30 seconds because there's a lot to watch, so they just move on. So what do you mean by that? The Holocaust ended. What are you talking about? I'll play devil's advocate.
So we're currently massacring 150 billion land animals and trillions more marine animals. That would classify as a Holocaust. So by going vegan, you stop supporting that Holocaust. So to answer your question, the main benefits of going vegan is not supporting a Holocaust. I didn't know if you wanted to add to that.
Isn't that enough, right? Like, I see what I want us to say, usually. Austin, I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna, isn't that enough for you? You want to know what the benefits are, like how it makes us feel? It doesn't matter, okay? I could die 5 years earlier than I normally would have, which is not going to happen, by the way, because vegans don't die earlier. But let's just say I did, right? That would be a sacrifice that I should take to not hurt animals. It's not about the benefits for us. I could tell you about how great my blood work is. I could tell you about how good I feel and how wonderful my poop looks. Hey, I'll take a picture of my poop. You'll be like, oh my God, that's so beautiful, right? But it shouldn't matter. What matters is that we're not hurting innocent victims who never did one single thing wrong to us. That's a good enough vegan reason. That is the reason. What Patricia said. Yeah, like what she said. What she said.
And what she said.
Okay, what's this? Yeah.
Who is Joe? Who is he?
Oh, maybe he's referring to when you said Joe Rogan?
Maybe. Joe Rogan's a podcaster. He's probably the biggest
You tell
podcaster
them. You tell them. Okay. Say it.
Yeah, so Joe Rogan's a very popular podcaster. He's probably the biggest podcaster right now in the world.
The biggest?
Maybe. I don't know anyone more popular, I guess, or prominent than Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Okay. More popular. Yeah. No, I just thought you were referring maybe to the biggest because he does do bodybuilding.
Oh, okay. He's a bit of a piece of shit because he still like murders animals and does a lot of anti-vegan crap. But he's got like other content on there. Hey?
Just a bit of a piece of shit?
Yeah, like he hunts and he kills animals, and I think he thinks he's a real manly type of guy. But I just think he's kind of pathetic, apart from the content that he puts out, which can be good sometimes. But yeah, he's very anti-vegan. Except for one episode, he had the guys from the Game Changers on, and he had to concede on a lot of the points. Like
and then he went backwards. And then then he conceded on the points that said, yeah, the Game Changers, you're right. It does make sense. And then, but are you going to be vegan now? Oh, no. No, because I just want to go out and keep killing animals. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why don't you eat other things? Because I feel like it.
Like, yeah, he's just a fucking dumbass. Like, he's got some good content regarding like identity politics, and he interviews famous actors, and that's interesting as well. But morally, yeah.
Sorry. Who gives a shit about actors? Come on, Patricia. He interviews famous actors. Who fucking cares what an actor thinks? Like, I don't get it. Like, no. Come on. I expect better from you. He interviews who that's better. Because, yeah, he has some good interviews. If he's not talking about the subject of veganism, sometimes he says stuff or he brings out conversations that are pretty interesting. We agree. He's basically a piece of shit because he still eats animals and he shouldn't. And there's no excuse. But don't tell me, I'm going to be mad at you, if you say that he interviews some famous actors and we should give a shit about what actors think. It's like asking
I like film and I like writing and stuff, so I enjoy watching it.
Why?
Because I enjoy film and acting. It's not something that's.
Oh yeah, but why do you care about why do you care about the actor's opinion about things?
Well, they're not talking about politics. Sometimes they're talking about like acting or making movies or like the Hollywood industry. Sometimes they'll talk about like producers and like sexism in Hollywood or something like that. So it's not really talking about political issues.
Okay, I see. So they're talking about what they're in their area of expertise. So they're talking.
Usually.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you. I take it back. You're right. Here's your favorite.
Plant Lives Matter.
Yeah. So when there's a fire in your house, Mr. Shrimp King, I guess you run to save the cucumbers, right? Before you save the cats and the dogs, right? Because plant lives matter. There's a fire in the house. You're gonna run and open the fridge and just carry out all your celery because we have to rescue them. Plant lives matter. Oh my God. Read it out loud.
Than Beyond Meat made with vegan products, so please don't eat meat. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I got a note here that says I need to talk less. So you can't just answer with yes and then turn your head away. You have to expand on your answer.
Well, I mean, it's pretty unoriginal. Beyond Meat is yummy, and people should not be eating meat.
But for we have 121 people here, okay? And they're eating popcorn. Are we Saturday night? I'm so disoriented. Because you're in Sunday, I'm in Saturday. Okay, it's Saturday night here, right? People are eating popcorn and flicking the channel, right? They just show up, right? And then they get this person saying this, and then the vegan lawyer says yes. And that's it. You gotta help me out here.
Even on my stream, I'm sorry, even on my stream, I have way less people. They ask way more interesting questions that actually get me interested. These are just meat is bad, that vegan teachers should die.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how I should answer to that.
Come on, people, dumb. Give us some good questions. Yeah. All right. What's this?
This one's all right. I use the argument that killing to hear someone scream for sensory pleasure is the same as killing for taste sensory pleasure. These two examples make the person a deranged psychopath. I use the example that killing to hear someone scream for sensory pleasure is the same as killing. Yeah.
Alex O'Connor says this often, and another animal rights activist, otherwise known as what's his YouTube channel? I just drew a blank.
Cosmic Skeptic.
Yeah, Cosmic Skeptic. That's right. So yeah. So Will Ferrell is with us. Speaking of famous actors, so happy that Will Ferrell is here. This is great.
Yeah,
I really liked you in Elf. That was cute. I liked it when you were trying to fit into that little bathtub, Will. It was fun. No, you can't get my autograph. I'm too famous. Sorry, Will. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the argument of killing. Yeah, so this is a good one, right? Yeah. So you have the pleasure of being able to see. We have the pleasure of being able to hear. We have the pleasure of being able to taste, and the pleasure of being able to smell. So if you could watch somebody die and get pleasure out of it, how is that different than eating their body? You get the pleasure here on your tongue, right? Your taste buds or your eyes. They're not even that far apart. How the fuck can we as a society justify killing animals just for the taste when there are thousands of other things to eat?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can justify anything on pleasure. Otherwise, you'd be able to justify rape. Oh, it just feels good, so I'm going to do it. Sensory pleasure is not a justification for anything if you're a civilized person. And people are like, oh, that sounds like an extreme example, but it's not really, because anytime you try and justify an action based on pleasure, you're going to end up in this really psychopathic place.
Right. But it's weird, when it's pointed out to people. What is the response to that if you ask somebody that? What do people say? Have you ever tried that? What they usually just walk away, or they're just like, huh? They'll say, oh, they're not the same, right? How
yeah, they'll say they're not the same, but it's still important to say it.
But nobody will ever actually argue that and say, what can you say to that? What would the argument be? Let's look at Nick Frost here. Go ahead and read it, Patricia.
What do you think of the arguments for killing predators to save prey species? Do you want to answer this one, or do you want me to?
You, because you need to talk more.
So this is an argument, I think, that has been developed by Dr. Avi. He's a dermatologist, and he's got a channel called Avi. He's a very smart guy. And basically the argument is it's ethical to kill predators because to sustain themselves, they need to kill innocent prey. So he says, I think an argument is if there was a species of humans that needed to kill other innocent beings or other humans or deer to survive, we should kill them. Does that make sense? So it's consistent to kill tigers and lions and etc.
So what do you think about the argument for killing predators to save prey species?
I don't think there's anything in terms of the argumentation, because I'm studying a little bit of logic right now, which is basically the study of argumentation.
Wait,
I don't think
what
there's
did you
anything
say?
invalid.
Wait, stop. I missed something. You're studying what logic? What was the adjective?
It's called formal logic, and it's basically the
Formal.
study of argumentation. It's the study of arguments, how arguments are put together, how the premises lead to a conclusion. Is it a valid argument? Is it a sound argument? That kind of thing. And there's nothing invalid about.
You're studying all the fallacies.
Yeah, that's part of it. So in terms of this killing predators to save prey, convincing people to kill predators, I don't think there's anything invalid about the argument. Like, I think it's consistent. It's not something I would support for policy reasons. Like, I would object based on policy. And I think if there was a species of human that were predators, I think the reasonable thing to do would be to like isolate them or take care of them in that way. It wouldn't be to kill that entire species.
So let's say we're talking about lions. So we're talking about lions. You would say isolate the lions, take them out of the picture, let them die off slowly, being unable to mate. Is that what you're saying?
In my ideal proposal, which isn't really an argument, it's more like a policy or proposal, it would be to find a way to meet their dietary requirements without killing herbivores or other animals. So manufacturing it somehow in a lab, I'm not sure, and then having that area secluded for those predators, in the same way I would do for the species of humans that needed the flesh of other beings to sustain themselves.
So you would have to, you're talking about having an area of land where you would take a bunch of lions and you would give them plenty of hundreds of square miles of space in which to roam and be free, because otherwise you're really keeping them in cages, and that's terrible.
Yeah, that would be the ideal proposal.
And then you would feed them somehow a bunch of Beyond Burgers and make it into some sort of a toy game, like shove a bunch of Beyond Burgers into some kind of like fishing hook and, drag it around the sky so they would have to feel like they're hunting their prey and grab those, eat it all, and then have a long siesta. Yeah, so they wouldn't get. Sorry? We could create like sentient robots that had that meat attached to them, so that could still live as they naturally would. He wouldn't. I don't think he would accept this as a response. Like, he would just be like, this is a pipe dream. But that would be the way I would object to that argument. But like, there's nothing inherently invalid about that line of thinking. You know what I mean? So that's my view on that. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Nick, one of the things that I thought about when I was trying to figure out if I should be vegan or not, because I was at a crossroads. When I was about 50 years old, I was realizing the planet is just trashed. It's just, nobody cares. I mean, I had all my 3 kids in cloth diapers, and I was like recycling, and then just see people opening car door windows and just throwing out McDonald's crap all over the highways, like all their packaging, like just on and on. And then I thought to myself, well, the world is just so badly designed. I mean, these lions, like God really fucked up. Like, why would they create this planet with this animal called a lion that would hurt these innocent zebras for no reason? But the reality is, it's there. That's the way it is. So we got to deal with it. And these animals, they don't capture and torture, enslave, and rape, and mutilate, and take away the milk of, and take away the eggs of, and all of these things on an industrial level. A lion will kill a zebra when the lion is hungry, and then the lion will lay down and have a nap. And if zebras walk by, they'll just let them walk by, like whatever. They're not evil like we are. So do I want to go in there and start murdering all these lions who are basically just kind of doing their own thing? It's like, I don't want to go into the oceans and kill a bunch of sharks either. Like, yeah. We just need to step away, and we need to find a way to live in harmony. Yeah, we need to protect ourselves. Like, I don't want to open my front door and find a lion there, or a coyote that's trying to take a chunk out of me if I'm standing at the bus stop. Like, I'd rather not, But there are ways in which we can allow all these species to live. And I always maintain that we should be the ones in cages. And by that, I mean we should have like somehow these big fenced areas. Think of it as a dog park, except for the dogs and all the other animals are out there, but we're in the park. So we humans have like narrow passages along the whole planet with which to live, but the animals are free to roam everywhere. So I talked about this before, passages over highways and, bike paths, but for like, you know what I mean? Like for us, the rest of the area is for the animals. This is, I think, an ideal way that we could somehow live in without having to kill the predator. We just let them do their thing.
I've been meaning to ask him about this as well. I don't understand that, like, because humans are the biggest predators on Earth. Like, as you said, we kill 150 billion land animals, way more marine animals. So I don't understand why this argument doesn't apply to humans as well. Like, because he's suggesting to murder all predators, but we're the biggest predator. So it's like, do we all just commit mass suicide? So I need to ask him what the trait. It's a name the trait thing. Like, why are humans considered differently?
Right, Nick, you want to follow up with a name the trait question if you can? That would be great. Yeah, and what do you think about what's happening with so many people on this planet? Do you think that there's any laws that should come into play that inhibit us from breeding so much?
Yeah, in places that's very congested or overpopulated, I think, and the resources aren't being used properly, I think it might be good to control that population better. I'm not anti-natal.
Yeah, I mean, but that would mean, giving out free condoms, morning after pills, and all of these kinds of things. I heard something interesting. I was talking to a doctor on the phone today, and she told me that some people don't even know that the morning after pill exists. Like, many teenagers don't even know about it, which is, of course, for those of you who don't know, it's like a pill you take after you've had sex and the condom broke, or you were drunk having sex and you're like, oh, shoot, I don't want to be pregnant. So you take a pill, and it basically makes sure that the embryo doesn't latch on to the uterine wall, and you basically don't get pregnant. So, this is the type of thing that we're talking about here, I guess, when it comes to controlling a population and educating people, not making it a great thing to have a whole bunch of kids. It used to be this show on 18 kids and counting or something, and everybody would watch it like it's a great thing. No, it's not.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a certain type of person that should definitely not have kids. Like, if you are dirt poor or if you're really stupid, like, I don't think those genes should be passed on. That's not going to be good for humanity or animals.
How are you going? No. 1 second, I'm going to stop you there. So how elitist of you is that to say, if people are poor, they shouldn't be having kids. If they're not smart, they shouldn't be having kids. Is that what you're saying? And like,
probably,
how do you measure that?
Well, we have IQ tests, and we can look at their life. If they're
wow.
And they're bringing like 5 children into the world, how would you even begin to justify that?
Oh, this is so juicy. I can't hang up yet. Okay, so what you're saying is, you want IQ tests. Well, here, let me tell you this, okay? I don't think I have the greatest IQ. I really don't. There's some math things I can't figure out, and some things are going clearly over my head. If I am getting blocked from like so many vegans, and I'm just thinking, I'm not the problem, right? So something must be wrong with me, right? I still don't think I'm the problem, but I don't think my IQ is that great. So you're saying that people like me should have had my tubes tied, just like, okay, just don't let her breed, because like she's just...
No, I think there should be a rigorous test in place as to whether you're fit to have a parent. IQ test could be part of it, but I still think we should look at things like income, like stability, mental health, and to make sure these are 2 people that are fit to raising like a child for the next 18 years. That's just part of it, but it should be a rigorous test. I don't think anyone should just be able to have children.
What about people with allergies? People like, if you have 2 parents, one of them is allergic to peanuts and the other one has asthma and is allergic to eggs. Should those people be allowed to breed?
I mean, I don't think that's really high priority on my list of things that like constitute a good parent. So I don't think that would even be on the list.
Okay, because you talked about genetics. So I think, so what you're saying is it's not so much the physical genes as it is the ability to be smart. And what I'm going to suggest to you is this. I don't think we need more smart people in this world. I think we need people that are kind, like who are going to get it in their heart that they shouldn't hurt the animals. We can have all the intellects we want, but look at them all. They're eating animals. They don't give a fuck.
I mean, we probably have different understandings of what intelligent means, because intelligent to me does mean not harming others, like for no good reason. Because not being vegan is like one of the dumbest things ever, you know? So I think it's all like having empathy is part of being an intelligent person. It's not just having a high IQ. And yeah, I guess kindness could be a part of it. But we just have a bunch of kind people not willing to say anything. That's going to be a problem as well. So I think the criteria.
But just a second. See, I used to tell my kids this. There's a difference between polite and kind. Like, I don't know if I don't know. Maybe I'm going off a bit subject here, right? But somebody who's polite says please and thank you, and they're just polite. A kind person is somebody who says something. A kind person is brave. That's how I see it.
I would hope so. I take issue with that word because I don't see it as kindness what we're doing. I mean, it's not kind that we abolished slavery. Like, that wasn't an act of kindness. It was like a moral imperative because what we're doing was so disgusting. Like, if you said to a man, you should be kind to your wife and not hit her, it sounds really patronizing. You know what I mean? It just comes across as a very weak word, even though it might not actually be.
I know
it doesn't seem to fit in these other scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a moral imperative. Yeah. Okay. Somebody named Slightly Statistic is in our audience. Okay. Can you read this, please?
I wouldn't trust things in the Bible. These are ridiculous stories that justify human slavery, killing people's babies, oppressing women, etc. If they are true, God is deranged. Well, I'm an atheist, so you're not going to get any arguments from me. And there's a lot of fucked up stuff in the Bible. So, yeah.
Like what? What's fucked up in the Bible?
Basically what she just listed. There's rules on how to have slaves. There's like regulations of slavery in the Bible. There's really homophobic shit. It condemns homosexuality. Just really outdated bullshit. Right.
And what I used to sing is a song that said, change your religion like you change your underwear. Like, change your religion if you actually think that your religion is telling you to do bad things, then change your religion. Don't listen to the Bible if it's telling you to do bad things. If it's telling you to be good, then okay, listen to the Bible. I don't know what the big deal is. People are like, I can't change religions. Well, yeah, you can. Just change religions. You want to change religion? Change it right now. Look, right now, I can be whatever religion I want. And so can you. And you can change again in an hour, and you can change tomorrow. There's no rule that says that just because your parents were born a certain religion and they told you that you're that religion, that you have to stay that religion. I mean, you're following a book written thousands of years ago by random people. Religion's one of the stupidest things ever. I can't justify it. Okay. Were you born into a religious family?
Yeah, my family was pretty religious for a while.
What religion?
My dad was a Catholic and my mum was a Muslim.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so as we moved to Australia, we became secularized over time and like less interested in religion. And now I would say we're all pretty agnostic, although I think my parents still believe in whatever. But I'm an atheist. Yeah.
You want to read the comment?
A picture doesn't change the meaning of the words that are written. If logic makes sense, that's all that matters. Facts are what shine. It's kind of a broad statement. I think they're replying to someone else. I'm not sure what the context is though.
All right. Watch Dominion, Earthlings, and Seaspiracy. I agree with that. Do you?
Yeah, I haven't seen Seaspiracy. I need to watch it. I've just heard really good things. I might do a little review or something, or maybe we could react to it or something like that.
Yeah, sure. And try Challenge 22. That's a way to become vegan. Get some free help there, some coaching. There are dietitians there. I highly recommend all of these. And of course, watch Dominion. So important. Yeah. All right. So I think that's enough. What do you think?
Yeah, whatever.
Somebody's asking another one here. What are your opinions about hunting? I don't know. Where did that go? I try to click on things and they already moved too quickly. So I don't know. Somebody asked, what are your opinions of hunting? And I think that
I'm against serial killers, so I don't support hunting.
Yeah.
What about you?
Agree. Me too. I'm against serial killers. And so I'm not for hunting. The only kind of cereal I think you can kill is like a bowl of vegan cereal that's like you're eating. kill it. But other than that, no. Okay, should vegan video games exist? Yes.
Yeah, I would love to see that. People going in and like killing slaughterhouse workers.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Oh yeah, this is one.
Your opinion on hunting games? If it's hunting humans, that could be cool.
People they already have those good games. They already have games where people kill each other all the time and kill.
Okay, play that one then.
Huh?
They should play that one then, not the animal hunting one.
No, don't hunt animals. Opinions on hunting games. No, I don't think people should be hunting. Don't hunt. Only, no. Even video games, just in general. I've said this before. I find them a waste of time. There's so much to learn in the world. Come on, people.
I saw you said that to Richard. I think he was a little bit not good with that.
Yes, I was talking to Vegan Gains when that's what she's talking about. And I said, and he likes video games, and I said, it's crap. What are you wasting your time on video games for?
No, he loves them. You can't say that to him.
What? I can?
You can't.
I can or I can't?
You love them. It's like someone saying to you something you love is not good or something. Anyway, he can take it. He's like 6 foot tall. He can like bench press. He can bench press me on his pinky finger. Like, I'm gonna lift that vegan teacher. You know, I'd be like, "Hey, Richard, you shouldn't be playing video games." You're like, I think you like it working. That's for sure.
Yeah. For those of you who are just joining, that is Vegan Gains. You should follow him too, Vegan Gains. He's funny. He'll come on a live and he'll just like let out a huge burp and he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't say, "Excuse me." He's just like, "Bleh." But then he just like keeps talking like nothing, just does his thing. So, but he, I wasn't happy with him. He came on the live at the last second, like, we have to meet for a sound check half an hour before, to make sure everything's good. And you're like, he just like wakes up and he like walks over his computer, presses it at like 1 minute after the show started. It's like, what the fuck you do? It's like, it's fine. He's so used to doing lives all the time. Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, show up early, make sure the top of your head is lined up. I'm like trying to get everything all the lighting good. And he's just, anyway, I guess that's me. I'll be in 10 years. I'll be like, just turn it on half dressed, wearing my, like, what? Yeah, I think one time he was wearing his underwear underneath, like, I think he stood up and it was like underwear, it's like, I don't know. People are just funny. When you've been around. Really, what's that?
I think he's really cute.
Yeah, he's cute. Yeah, he's funny. And he swears a lot, but he tries to hold it in. Yeah. I thought I swore a lot. No, he swears a lot. Oh my goodness. I could just stay here for ages. I love your guys' comments. I just find it fascinating. Should try a gaming channel. Okay, thank you, the vegan cat. You could start one. I'm not going to start one. Now, like, look at this comment. Like, this person is drank a bit too much tonight. Saturday night, this person just like, eat is good.
You know what, though? I think it's good to have a lot of trolls and have a lot of people that aren't vegan, because you don't want to be preaching to the choir. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be some echo chamber. So it's good to see this.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to leave in a way, because I just find it so funny. Like, and this like weirdest random stuff. Like, what is this? Like, hi pooch. I don't know what this, like, I learned shit, like juicy couture. I'm like, I gotta Google that. Like, what the fuck is juicy couture?
It's a brand. It's like a high fashion kind of brand, but it's like a little bit trashy as well.
Like, I don't give a fuck about brand name clothes. Like, I don't understand it.
It's kind of like a little bit what Ariana Grande or someone would wear. Like,
okay, I do not think that you should buy brand name clothes at all. If you see anything with any writing on it, buy these kinds of things. Like, buy stuff that says vegan because I give a shit. Okay, that's the brand I want you to buy. Not vegan, not something that says Gap or Adidas, or like the best one. It says bench on it, like bench, like a park bench. You go to the park, you see a bench, you sit on it. Like, people are wearing clothes that say bench on it. I'm just like I remember my students would wear this to school. It became a big trend, right? So I would say to the grade 6 kids, "Why are you wearing a shirt that says bench on it?" Like, they're like, "Huh? Guess it's D." They're French, eh? I'm like, "Well, why are you wearing?" I'm like, "Do you know what a bench is?" They're like, "C'est quoi ça?" said, well, a bench is like, it's something you sit on, you know, in the schoolyard, you know, it's a bench. Oh, shit, boy. I just want to wear it. Okay, but why? You know, I try to get them to think, right? And then I would get in trouble saying, well, now you're insulting the children's clothing, and their parents bought them these fine models of clothing that cost a lot of money. And why are you ridiculing them? I said, I'm not ridiculing them. I'm just trying to get them to think. Just to think. Why, of all the clothes in the stores, would you buy something that says the word bench in it instead of stop eating animals? Like, buy that shirt. Brand name stuff. Fuck it. Do not buy brand name stuff.
I think it's good we're seeing vegan brands come up as well to compete in that market. So when it comes to like cycling clothing and even just like bags and stuff like that, a lot of creators are now being way more ethical and vegan in their products. So that's good as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Things that are made ethically, that are made from dyes that don't come from killing animals, and that are made with not paying kids to make them, like slavery, like it's terrible.
Yeah. Because we need people to compete in that market, because we're not going to win them. We're not going to win a lot of people over by being like, you have to wear this vegan, like, so, you know what I mean? Some people just don't want to. So we need similar types of clothing and fashion in that area that's going to compete with like all these capitalist designer brands. And we're seeing it come up in time. I think like Stella McCartney does a lot of vegan, cruelty-free products, and Taylor Swift wears it, and it's great. I think it's great for people for like to watch that, to have that alternative as opposed to nothing.
Yeah. The best thing you can do is buy secondhand clothing. That's the best. That's good as well. If you ever have any clothing that you don't want, never throw it in the garbage. Just always bring it to a secondhand store, and think of it as buying something that has like, you know, some sort of like, I don't know. To me, I buy secondhand clothing, and I'm always happy. Like everything I have is secondhand. Like this shirt was secondhand, and I just decorated it with paint that was lying around. I also take paints out of the ends of people's driveways. They throw paint that's going to go in a landfill. Like I just walking the dog, and I come home with a bucket of like half a bucket of primer. It's like, okay, I'm going to paint a shirt with that. Like it's better. Recycle. All right.
Reuse, recycle.
Yeah. Vegans are being ridiculed because of you. I'm not sure if this person is talking to me. Yeah, I guess because of me, because I'm a vegan animal rights activist, and because they don't like me, I make everyone look bad. You know what? That's so silly. That's like saying one black person does something wrong and they make all the black people look bad, right?
You didn't do anything wrong though.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm trying to like save animals here. What's this?
Pigs aren't bacon, they have families and feelings.
Exactly. And I like your cute little piggy there, Leon. Or I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I agree. And of course, there's always, oh, wait, there was one here. Yeah. Okay. That's pigs are yummy. Yeah, sure. Leave pigs alone. Stop hurting animals. I just went fishing. Thanks for telling me that you're a mass murderer. Thanks for telling me that you walked over there with the deliberate intention of harming someone who never did a single thing wrong to you. This is what you thought was a good idea, right? You just woke up this morning and just like, oh, I'm going to go kill someone for no fucking reason. I'm just going to, you know what? It's the equivalent of somebody taking you and pushing you underwater and just holding you there. And that's how you die. That's what you do to a fish. How is this okay with you? You know, walk to the store and just buy a block of tofu. Nobody dies. There's nothing good about fishing. People have this sort of romantic idea. We're going to go fishing. Me and my dad, we're going to go fishing together. And we're going to bond. Okay,
yeah, while we're on the topic of murdering fish, my supervisor, because you know how I'm writing the thesis at University of Sydney, my supervisor does a lot of work regarding like fish and fish animal rights activism. And he says there's like so much cultural problems with how it's perceived, because what we do to fish, we couldn't do to hardly any other animal, not even pigs. Because if we started doing that to pigs, like just killing them in broad daylight, people would have an issue with it. But we make this exception for fish, and it's just this really weird thing that's happened with our culture, and it's really bad as well because what we're doing to the oceans is probably the most damaging in terms of like overall impact. And he talks a lot about the resistance of fish, how they resist the hook and how they don't want to die. And there's all these things that we don't understand about them and how like intelligent they are, basically. Yeah.
It's so true. It's normalized. It's like I went up to somebody was fishing near me here, and I was a new vegan, and I just went up and I just said, "Why are you trying to kill an animal?" Like, what? I'm just fishing.
Yeah.
Like, you're killing somebody. Like, you're premeditated murder. You're waiting here with your hook to kill this animal. Why? This innocent fish.
Yeah.
And you're right. And then it's like we just desensitize people. Just like,
it's so weird as well how it's evolved as like this father-son bonding experience, and how it's like a family experience to go out and kill animals. Like, you just wouldn't, with the exception of hunting, and hunting's kind of demonized now in our society. Like, most people, even meat eaters, don't like hunters who kill tigers and all these animals that people like. But with fish, it's just this whole new level of exploitation. Like, I can't explain it.
Yeah. You know what I think it is because they can't make noise.
Maybe.
Like, imagine if every time the fish came out of the water, it was screaming, like the way that the pigs and the cows like are crying for their lives, like, don't hurt me, you know? Like,
yeah, that could be.
Imagine if that was happening. Imagine if the words that came out of a fish's mouth as it's coming out of the water was, please don't hurt me, I don't want to die. What would kids think? How fun is that bonding time in the canoe with their dad? Like, if that's what you heard. And I'm talking about yeah. And if they actually could hear it in their own, in like your own language, like, you would never do it. I mean, unless we're just sick, so sick.
That was kind of the point. I don't know if you've ever saw the mockumentary Carnage, Swallowing the Past, and it's set in the future. Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And
So for those of you who don't know, a mockumentary is like it's like a fake documentary talking about what life would be like to vegans in the future. And you should watch it. Right?
It's really good. And it kind of reminded me of what you were saying, because at the end they managed to solve this problem of animal exploitation by giving animals language. Like, they make some kind of machine or technology where we can actually understand, and the cows are saying, why are you taking my babies? Why are you doing this? And yeah, the language barrier is a huge one, because imagine if animals could talk. It would just like, get the fuck away from me. That's a huge thing.
Yeah. It would be great if they could talk to us. I know what my dog would be saying half the time, like, why the fuck don't you give me more belly rubs? Like, like, what's up? Yeah. Sometimes I'm like walking by and she like sticks out her paw, like, stop. And I'm like, and she's like, no, stop. And she like kind of rolls over, like, it's like, okay, I'll be your slave. Give her belly rub.
So what's your opinion on fictional animals fictionally dying in video games, movies, TV shows? I think it can get really cringy when we have to deal with these type of questions. Like, can we just deal with the Holocaust first, and then we can talk about fictional animals dying in novels? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I would like that back on the screen, though. I want to talk about that. I would like to give my opinion. Okay, I agree basically that should not be what we talk about first. Is necessarily the animals. However, I wouldn't dismiss it the way that you did as being like way down the line, because again, I think it teaches society and kids and whoever plays these games, they just become desensitized. I just think it's wrong that we are aiming a gun in a video game at killing an animal. Like, you know, back when I was a kid, there was this video game and you like basically played ping pong, you know, you just like pop, and then the ball would come over the net and you go pop, and it would go back over. Or there was a game called Pac-Man, which was just like these fake little squares that went blue, blue, and they would like, you use the thing and they would like eat up these little like whatever circle things. I don't know. Just like if you want to simulate grabbing things or taking them and swallowing them or push, you know, make it like a water fight or something. Like, make it just like shooting balloons or something. Like, why does it have to be animals that you're killing? So I'm against it. I don't think the video game should be killing humans or any animals or destroying anything. It should be all about creative ways to make the world a better place. You're always in every moment of your life either making the world a better place or a worse place. So think about what you're doing. You decide you're going to play a video game. Are you making the world a better place or not? It's as simple as that. If you're not making the world a better place, don't do it. That's how I look at it. You can read.
I think this is the same question. I think I agree more with the killing animals in video games, but in terms of animals dying in
it's the same one.
Stuff, yeah, I like don't really mind, but yeah, the killing animals in video games I'm probably not crazy about.
Okay, I don't know what this is.
I don't understand this question.
I don't think it's an actual. It doesn't have.
You that it's a question, or is it someone else?
It doesn't have an actual question mark, so I'm looking for something with an actual question mark. I don't know. I can't see anything, so it might be time's up then. Oh, what's this?
What are your thoughts on PETA?
Well, that's a good one. Thanks.
I think they're a little bit cringy, but they also do good work. So sometimes I like them, and sometimes I'm just like don't associate with them because I find them a little bit cringy. But sometimes they do very good, like underground footage and exposing different industries, which is good. And they're I don't know, like they get a lot of celebrities involved, but I don't even know how good that is for the movement because the celebrities are just flaky and then they stop being vegan and then people think that's all right. So I think there's better organizations and people to support than PETA. Like if you could support PETA, Anonymous for the Voiceless, you would support Anonymous for the Voiceless. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're okay sometimes, other times not so much. What do you think, Katie?
I used to watch PETA videos before I became vegan, and I thought that it depends. There's a lot of great ones. One of the ones I show all the time when I'm teaching is the video that is about the lifetime of a woman. It's like a minute and 45 seconds, and about the life of her starting off as a non-vegan, and then she ends up being vegan. And I find that to be quite compelling. And it's a really great video. So they have a lot of good ones. I agree with you when you're talking about people when they bring in stars who are vegan, like famous singers who are vegan or actors. I just think just forget it, because these people, like again, like they're just there. It's like a fad of the week, and then the next day they're gonna not be vegan anymore, and you're just gonna feel like shit. And then people are gonna be like, "Oh, my favorite star is not vegan anymore, therefore I don't have to be vegan." Like I just don't think we should be drawing attention to people like that, unless it's like somebody who's been vegan for a long time and who's clearly paid their dues, like who is a bodybuilder or an athlete in the Olympics who's clearly talked about the animals a lot, that kind of stuff. Then I think it's good to draw attention to them, but not somebody who's just newly starting to eat a bunch of plants. Thank you, Palestinian Vegan, for $3. That's very sweet of you. It's interesting, a Palestinian vegan. I'd like to know more about this person's story and why they identify as Palestinian.
What's your story? One more thing I want to say as well. Oh, do we want to read this thing out first?
No, go ahead.
Okay, just before we sort of wrap up, if we are.
I like how she says we are. Oh my God, 2 hours and 50. We should do the world record because we never seem to be able to shut up. I always say, okay, I'm going to talk for an hour this time, just an hour, just to stick to an hour. And it's just like, there's so many interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, lives usually go like longer. I just wanted to say, even though my activism and your activism are similar in that they focus on the morality of animal rights. What I think, because I do think the world is heading towards, however slowly, is heading towards plant-based or being vegan. I don't think it's the moral activism that's going to be the biggest thing that puts it there. You know what I mean? Even though that's what we kind of specialize in, or that's what we promote, because that's what we're good at, or that's what we're passionate about.
It's all about money. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be vegan businesses taking over. I think that the really environmental and health causes, like the pandemics and viruses, and just really big issues that we should discuss one day, like antibiotic resistance, like that's really threatening like the food system and the way we live our lives. Is going to push. So it's not going to be a moral thing. So I don't think people are really moral inherently. But I do think it's important that
wait, stop. What did you say? You don't think what?
So I don't think it's this type of moral activism that's going to push the world
No, I heard
to
that. I just
become
didn't hear
vegan.
your last sentence. I just didn't. Did you say you would think that humans are inherently morally bad or good?
So my view on that is that a small percentage of people are inherently morally good, like you and me, and then a small percentage are evil, like Hitler. And I think everyone else just does whatever the fuck they're told. They're just influenced by the culture. So we just need to be the loudest and the most forceful, and that's all that we really need to do. Everything else will just happen in time, like the environmental causes and the viruses that's going to force people to stop eating animal products. But yeah, my view on people is that they're just robots, basically, most of them.
Like robots. Okay. Now here I'm curious about something.
Yeah.
So what, in your opinion, and this is just us talking, and I know you haven't given this much thought, so just off the top of your head, right? If you think that the majority of people are just like robots, they just follow whatever's the main thing. They don't, they see everybody else eating animals, they're going to eat animals too. And then you've got, so on the one hand, you have vegans, and on the other hand, you have like the Hitler types, the people who are just like most evil and the most kind. And I say that vegans are the most kind because every single day, many times a day, they make a sacrifice to not hurt animals, and they put themselves in this position of having vegan phobic behavior towards them and living with their eyes open, sad in a dystopian world where they suffer from dystopia, the agony of being vegan in a non-vegan world. So here's vegans who I consider to be, don't get me wrong, some vegans can be also assholes, but just in general, they care a lot beyond themselves, and that they would make sacrifices to look like the oddball in school or at work or with their families. It's not fun to be in that position. And then there's the really, really cruel people like who just mass murder people. So right. Would you say that it's about 1% of each? And then everybody else is the other 98% are in the middle?
I think there are more genuinely evil people than there are genuinely good people. I don't know. That's just my intuition. I don't have like large scale data on this, but the percentage of people that are vegan. Sorry?
I think so too. I agree with you. I tend to think so too. I really do, because it doesn't make sense why there's not more vegans by now.
Right.
And by vegan, I mean vegan animal rights activists. And I mean, look at what happened today on Facebook with what broke vegans eat, that group, that they would just, flush an animal rights activist for zero reason, just because they think that person might be racist and might be homophobic, which they aren't. They're just like, you know what? Bye. Like cancel culture. Like, this is just crazy. So I actually think that we have a lot more evil people. Unfortunately, that's what I've come, especially since being on TikTok. Like, I saw how evil people are. I mean, right now, if you look at this comment section, it's looking okay. But I have moderators that are just, we already saw somebody who said they hope I die. I mean, these things get squeaked through, but there's a lot of mean people out there. You want to read this comment?
What is the Better Vegan Challenge organization? I've been told vegan, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I don't know. Do you know?
Vegan boot camp is great. Okay, I've been told. Got my friend into Challenge 22, but she gave up at day 14. Sadly, still paying for the animal club. I wonder why your friend gave up from Challenge 22 at day 14. That's very interesting. I'd like to find out what it is, because I think they should know. Like, what happens that makes that person give up? Was it just too much reading to do, or too much, like not enough one-to-one, you can do it. Woohoo. Try to find out from your friend, and then let's get to work to fix that, because that shouldn't happen.
What about the animal kingdom, like a lion hunting another animal to survive? Should we make them eat vegan meals instead? Yeah, probably, when we can. We will when we can. Not vegan meals, but a diet that doesn't involve harming. Why is that so? Why are people so against that? Like, oh my God, how dare you try and help another animal become, morally better or something? Because there are instances of animals saving each other. There's instances of certain tigers, certain lions not killing the prey. There's this one special story that the lion just stopped eating other animals, and they fed him a vegetarian diet, like mixed it in somehow. There's one video of like a bear saving a crow from drowning, and then he saves the crow, and then he picks up an apple and eats the apple instead. So animals are very much capable of being morally better than they are. It's just maybe if we didn't interfere so much and actually helped them achieve that, we could actually do those things.
Okay. Last comment. Thank you for the donation, by the way, MKM2Verm. I want you to change your your name to have vegan in it, so it's easier to say. Okay, just change the verm to like maybe vegan. That would be fun. Okay, you want to read this one?
Yeah. What? Oh, I just read that out.
Oh, okay, that's the one. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Then we have to move on. That's it. Or did I say one more? Okay, one last one then. This one.
Animal cruelty can be stopped. We put thousands of animals through pages so we can have some beauty products and the suffering. Watch my video. Buy cruelty-free products. Be vegan. Thanks, Cami. All right. This was really fun. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who was moderating. Thank you everybody who made some comments. Thank you everybody who's still sticking around. It's 114 of you. That's great. Thank you so much. Please be vegan. Please follow that vegan lawyer's channel. She goes on. You changed the name of it to.
Oh, it's now just my full name. It's Patricia Nonis.
Okay, so might be harder for people to find than to Google that vegan lawyer.
Yeah, but like when it still comes up when you look at in YouTube that vegan lawyer. Like my videos will still come up because it's all in the description and everything in the comments and stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. And yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, actually, with Slightly Crazy Vegan.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. We'll be talking about nudity. That's right.
Interesting. Yeah, she's a friend of mine. She's good fun.
Yeah. I heard that. So that's great. So come and join us if you want to make some good comments. We'll love to see you. So tomorrow, same time, same place. Slightly Crazy Vegan. She does a cooking show in the nude. I'm going to be interviewing her, and if you're interested, spread that message around. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Do 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 do.